is even remotely usable. This is actually worse internet than Time Warner Cable. I never thought I would live to say that out loud, but oh my god, it actually is worse than Time Warner Cable. Damn. Okay, let's see. Does chat actually have anything here? Warning, the stream's current bitrate is lower than the rec. Yeah, no, of course, obviously. Obviously. Come on. You can do it. It's a little stream that could. Hi, Aslanti, how are you? Restream chat messes up Twitch names, so I can't. Prince Paradox, how are you? Hello, Clash of Clan, Clash Royale. Hello, Mad. Okay, it looks like this works. Welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Let's see. What do we have here? Egg Whites is here. Bounce Off is here. Bounce Off, I hope you're doing better for yourself. Your comments used to lead me to the belief that you're kind of a mess. I'm hoping that you're doing better now. Thank you. Good morning, Clash, for spelling my name wrong. Thank you. Hello from Portugal. Hello. Hello, Mr. Lumberton is in the chat. We have Lumberton, North Carolina royalty here. Hello from Newfoundland. Hi. Good morning. Good morning to you, too. A Polish guy from the UK says hello. Well, hope things stay peaceful over there. You would be a bit more intimidating boss if you had some tattoos on those biceps. No, I don't have tattoos. I do have sand, though. Sand and sunscreen. Gee, I thought I got all this off earlier. I got to take a shower soon. I'm filled with sand. I usually take a shower the moment I either get a haircut or go to the beach because I hate having little hairs on me, and I hate having sand all over me. But yeah, I have sand everywhere. Like, literally everywhere. Trust me. I hope that image is as bad for you as it was for me. What are your thoughts on the Steam Deck for repairability? Well, you know, they're moving in the right direction. It's not all the way there, but I really appreciate how far they've been open to move in that direction. And I'm glad that they're making parts available to iFixit. The question at that point is going to be, what parts are they making available? Again, like, are we going to be seeing, you know, entire assemblies or just individual pieces? But I admittedly have not looked into it because I don't play games portably. But I will for a video, since a lot of people have been asking me about that. I want to actually look at, why is video stream potato? Because I'm traveling and internet sucks when traveling. And it most certainly sucks here. Let's see. That's right, you moved to Florida. I did not move to Florida, but I have traveled to Florida. How do you feel knowing the injection you got was a biological weapon? That is pretty stupid, man. That's pretty dumb. That's really dumb. How are your plans regarding your store? I don't have any. We'll see what happens this September when they want the rent to go back to the full price again. Is sand the kryptonite of Lewis? Kind of. Yeah, with the Steam Deck, what's really going to matter with that is what parts are available and what the pricing of them is. Like, again, when Apple makes a display available, I don't want the $600 display assembly. I want the $75 or $95 LCD cell from LG, AU Optronics, Chime, Samsung, you know, Toshiba. I don't want the entire, like, there's making parts available, and there's actually making parts available that allow economically viable repairs to be done. And the updated Massachusetts right to repair. Nothing in Massachusetts just yet. Nothing in Massachusetts. Washington, we lost. Maryland, we lost. Minnesota's still moving forward, and some 2 other states. You ever get any money back from the shady contractor you first hired to do your store? Nope. Eugene got away with it. Shout out to Eugene Harrington of Gotham City Solutions. Hi is here. Steam Deck schematics? Yeah, there is. I don't know if they're going to make schematics available or not, but again, there's a reason I made that t-shirt many years ago. The thing with the t-shirt is it kind of forces me to remember what I was advocating for and not accept half-ass compromises. And it's really tempting to accept half-ass compromises. What's really sad is that the Washington bill actually had a lot of half-ass compromises that I did not approve of, and it still went nowhere. So even with all the compromises, nothing happened, which makes me believe that compromising at all is probably just ridiculous, because everybody's still going to oppose it anyway. Like, all these compromises got put in so that Microsoft wouldn't oppose the bill, but then everybody else still opposed it. And then they made things up that weren't true, and then it lost. It just, more aggressive next time. But I don't even know. What's your opinion on the ongoing war against Ukraine? I think Russia's not going to be able to... I don't think what Russia has to gain from doing any of this is going to be worth the economic fallout to them. I have no idea why they're doing this. I believe that NATO could most likely just wipe the floor with them if they really wanted to, and I don't know why. Like I don't get it. I don't see where the win is, and I think the win is in higher approval ratings for Putin. But please, for the love of all things, like, don't get your foreign policy from me. Don't get your foreign policy from me. It's not even about whether you agree with me because I'm on this side of the aisle or that or whatever. I'm just fundamentally clueless when it comes to foreign policy. So if you get your foreign policy from me, you're going to be really, really, really disappointed. Not disappointed because you disagree because you're on the opposite side of me politically. Disappointed because I fundamentally just am clueless. But yeah, I'm really surprised that Putin's actually going ahead with this. And I think that if other people got involved and he asked his generals to do something, I wouldn't be surprised if his generals just went, nope, we're not doing that. Nope, no, 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 no. We would lose if we do that. I don't care about your approval ratings, no. But my neighbor actually did a documentary on the 2016 election, but what he did that was really interesting is he did it through the lens of Russian state media. So he found all these little clips from Russian state media about what was going on in the country, and he told the story, but through all these different shows that play on Russian radio and Russian television, which is really interesting. Like, what they tell their people is very interesting. And he plans on teaching. Not now. Paul, Chris, and Dan teach the board repairs at the store. Any update on right to repair? Right to repair is not a piece of software. It is a philosophical movement. You need to, give me a more specific question. More specific question. It is a political and philosophical movement. It is not a piece of. It is not Windows Service Pack 2. How is the crew? I think Paul is still on vacation. When you getting on Twitch? I'm on it right now. It's just that I don't have anything there. Russia has tight control over its media. It does. Is Paul still jamming out to Taylor Swift? Yes, and I think that's just ridiculous, but whatever. Again, freedom. Let freedom ring, even if that freedom is listening to Taylor Swift. One thing that you get your money back from the building architect. I finally did, yes. It took 2 years, but I finally got my money back from that. What's the average salary for tech repair in New York City? I don't know. What type of tech? What do you think of privacy? I like my privacy. How do you feel about Richard Stallman? I don't have feelings about Richard Stallman. Why are you awake at this weird hour? This is not a weird hour. I don't know what you're talking about. Just went to the beach, had a decent time, saw some sights, and I'm procrastinating taking a shower to wash the sand off me. I don't remember the name of the documentary. I really should, so that I could post it here. Lewis, remember to pump and dump, bro, says Jimbo Baggins. What does that even mean? What do you think about the conflict between Ukraine and Russia? Answered that one already. Are you still finding time to work out or gym with your schedule? Actually, yes. In the past month and a half to 2 months, I have been doing a lot more than usual. So in addition to the usual half hour to hour of weights I do every day, I've been adding 1 to 2 hours of cardio depending on how I feel that day, along with interval training. So let's, instead of just keeping my pulse at 130 to 150 for 30 to 50 seconds at a time, I'll try to run my pulse up to 175 and see how long I can keep it there, and then go back down to 120 to 150 or 120 to 140 because I'll be tired after I do that. And I'll do that a couple of times over the course of the hour, and for the rest of the hour I'll just spend it with my pulse around 130 to 150. And I found that to be incredible fun. It's been very helpful with dealing with stress and everything else. And admittedly, yeah, I kind of like the results when I lose 13 pounds inside of a month or so. So I'm happy with that. And I'm doing it every day. I did 2 hours today, because usually I have a weight and cardio day, and then a cardio day. Weight and cardio day, cardio day. Because you can do cardio every day. You can't lift weights every day. You need a rest day. Today was supposed to be one of the days where it's 3 hours, which is 2 hours of cardio and 1 hour of weights, but I cut it short. One moment. Excuse me. I'm mute. What did you have for breakfast? For breakfast, I had scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs. Where can we find that documentary? Oh, I think, yeah, unfortunately I forgot the name. I'm so sorry. I feel bad that I forgot the name. Because it's a good documentary. And he makes good work. He really does deserve me remembering the name of his stuff. That's kind of messed up. I'll include it in the next one. Was the sand white, hay, yellow, or brown? I think like light brown or peach. What color is sand? Kind of peach. Keep up the great work, Luis. I wish I could do, there were analytics that showed how many of my subscribers could spell my name. You track calories or just eat whatever? I don't track calories. That's torture. Because you have to figure out how many calories are in everything you eat, and there's so much research and aggravation involved in doing that. But I do try to avoid carbs as often as possible. I just repaired and donated my old laptops to a school thanks to this channel. That's awesome. Thank you so much. You know, and have you thought about what will happen to your business if China takes Taiwan? Nope. I didn't do 2 hours of cardio today, Jinx. I did 1. I cut it short so that I could go to the beach. I honestly probably should have just went later, but we're here to talk to you about your life endurance. You mean insurance. Who is it so early in the morning? It's not early in the morning here. It's early in the morning where you are, not early in the morning here. You have any plans to try SteamOS 3? I don't play video games much, so most likely no. Jimbo Baggins, stop posting the same crap over and over again. Go away. Any diet tips? I am not a nutritionist. Don't get your advice from me. For me, personally, I realized that I was bloating way too much because I ate way too many carbs. So that's breads, rice, wraps, and I had to stop. I stopped eating vegan in December of 2020. So November of 2015 to December of 2020, I was a vegan, and then I went back to eating steak and chicken in December of 2020. So I made it about 5 years and a month. Thoughts on Elon Musk? You have to ask something specific. I can't do that. I think people kind of like want to live vicariously through somebody who's a multi-billionaire who's also a troll that's socially autistic. I get why a lot of people look up to him. It's like, you know, a lot of people that are socially autistic and weird, they're just weird. But like, he's socially autistic and weird, and he's worth over $100 billion, and he trolls people on Twitter, and he says all sorts of horrible stuff about idiot politicians, and it's funny, you know. I get it, but one of the things that I think the two things that aggravate me about Elon Musk are the rabid fan base that like just absolutely will go to bat for him regardless of how stupid something he or his company does is, and B, the fact that Tesla definitely values growth over customer experience or quality control. But I do respect what he was able to do with electric vehicles. And I do respect the fact that, if there's no charging network, who's going to use them? We'll make it. I appreciate that. But yeah, I wouldn't follow his timelines on anything. I use Linux now full time. What happened to your girlfriend? I broke up with my girlfriend. Erica and I are single and separated. She's living her best life, and I am trying to live my best life. Actually failing at living my best life, but trying. Putting in effort. What happened to your nose? Well, when I was born, it was kind of already there, attached to my face, so I decided I'd leave it there. Do you listen to Joe Rogan? I'll be honest, I used to listen to Joe Rogan a lot. The moment he went to Spotify, I stopped. It was one of those things where I thought I found a lot more value in that show than I did. If I was scrolling through the YouTube app and he was there, I clicked it. But once it was no longer there, it wasn't worth it to me to install the Spotify app to continue listening to his show. How do you feel about the market? Do you foresee hyperinflation coming soon? I have no idea. Would you recommend buying stocks right now? I have no idea. I have no clue. You're asking the wrong person for that. You're asking the wrong person for that. Spotify is evil. Are they? What happened to the big couch you used to chill on? It's gone. That's not here. That's like, that's many thousands of miles that way. Or that way. I actually don't have a great sense of direction. Can I send you my Mac from Europe to change the keyboard? You shouldn't. It'll get lost in the mail, and customs will lose it, and then you'll be mad at me. Find somebody local. Have you ever done work on Bitcoin miners? No, because all of them are in really, really bad condition usually when I get them, and they have no schematics, board views, anything for them, and they're not, so no. Dude, I'm sure you'll find a great girlfriend. You're a catch. Ha ha! Funny. Have you ever done any work? Yeah, that's that one. Have you ever thought about creating a company which is not dealing with tech or hardware? I've created a bunch of different companies, and most of them have failed. This is the only one that kind of lasted, so... you put ketchup on hot dogs. I don't eat hot dogs, honestly. What tips do you have for somebody looking to start a company with the intent to stay on the good side of repairability and sustainability? Make things available that you would want available if you were working on that product or if you own that product and you wanted to be able to fix it. What's your favorite distro for desktop use? Ubuntu, because I really have no desire to deal with having to troubleshoot my computer. And like it's 2022. If it doesn't work, if it doesn't just work, if I have to spend time troubleshooting random stuff instead of actually getting work done, yeah, I'm failing. This is a tool. This is a tool that is supposed to make my life easier and allow me to do my work and accomplish what I want to accomplish. It's kind of like the question with a car. Like, is the purpose of the car the journey of tweaking the car and messing with the car just because it's a hobby? Or is the purpose of the car to get you from point A to point B? And I'm way past the stage in my life where I want to mess with my computer on a regular basis and just tweak and tweak and tweak. I just want it to get me from point A to point B. You like to flex the guns of yours. I do not have guns. Are you doing okay? I am doing lovely, Teresa. Besides one particular event. Okay. Besides one particular giant troll. I got trolled, but I kind of walked into it. I recently read The Perfect Health Diet, and the authors who wrote it made a point that only some people with certain genetic traits and gut size can contribute to help digest carbs more easily. I'd be open to reading that. Dating in New York City is rough. It is, and honestly, I just didn't even bother with it. Like, I did for a very short period of time, and then I realized this is like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not torturing myself. But I also am not in New York City right now. Do you think we could find the schematics for the Russian tanks and equipment that is available in Ukraine right now? Probably, because a lot of the stuff actually comes from a time when there was a right to repair. Are you still interested in coming to Florida? Not at this point in time. Maybe later. I tried dating through Instagram for a hot minute. More red flags than China. Bro, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. AMA sucks. We want board repair. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're just a virtue signaling something. Just virtue signaling trash. You don't watch that shit. What do you think about the McDonald's ice cream machine that is constantly broken, designed to be broken? And by contract, you are, as a franchise restaurant, obligated by the specific machine. I think it's a great example of what we talk about in this channel on a regular basis. And listen, I'm not a fan of unhealthy stuff, but if that gets people to understand why this is a problem in a more mainstream way, more power to them. I did see recently, I saw in my newsfeed that there was some sort of new lawsuit that came about. What was the name of the company? I forget. Kiji, I forget the name of it. It was some... There was the company that made that little piece that goes inside the machine that makes it easier to fix. One thing you miss about New York City. Nothing right now, honestly. Thank you, I Love Scotch, for the $1. Do you like garfish? I don't know what that is. Jose Santos wants to know when you're going to Florida. I have no plans to go to Florida right now. iFix is looking for people near me. Should I bother with them? What are they paying? And also, what is your job going to be? So, yeah, those two questions. What are they paying? And what is your job going to be? Oh, and third, are the Google and Yelp reviews that you read for them real, and how are they? Does your organization have something in Illinois I can support? There is a bill being pushed forward in Illinois right now. But in the U.S., we don't usually use 240 volt. Oh, I don't know what that is. I used to find tinkering with computers fun when I was a 90s kid. Now it is an unwanted time drain. Yeah, I feel the same way. People say that if you live long enough to see your hero become the evil, you'll see your hero become Lewis. Lewis, how do you imagine yourself becoming evil? Oh, I kind of think I already am. I don't know why people think of me as a hero. It's one of the reasons that I'm constantly telling people to stop idolizing me. I don't think I'm a hero. I just don't think you know enough about me. Fixing computers jacks you up. I don't think that's true. Will you spill tea on Erica? Why would I spill tea on her? That's not nice. I don't spill tea on people just because the relationship doesn't work out. Like, why would you do that? Especially if the tea is hot. That's going to burn them. That's mean. Do you enjoy low-key trolling lefties? No, I just enjoy low-key trolling in general, to be honest with you. I like trolling ideologically possessed people. It's not about trolling lefties or righties. Have you ever thought about making a video with the company like Linus Tech Tips about board or tech repair? No, I honestly haven't thought about doing board repair videos in quite a while. Hope you're doing great. No questions this time since you end up ignoring me anyway. Why are you so black-pilled, Christian Iverson? So black-pilled. Is Mr. Clinton with you? Mr. Clinton is not with me right now. Do you happen to see the congressional candidate Martin Hyde's behavior during a traffic stop in Sarasota, Florida? I have not. But how close would this be to the Florida man meme? I miss your rides and tours of New York City showing the zit hole it is becoming. Yeah, honestly, can I be honest with you? I don't miss them. I really don't. Like, while I was on that beach today, not a single part of me was thinking about New York City. None of it. He apologized to Sarasota police officer Julie Beskin as he signaled his campaign's collapse. Martin Hyde has since told Fox News he's still running. What is this? Oh, God. He apologized for his behavior. What is his behavior? A police body cam video and actions at his time at a traffic stop. What is this? What are we looking? Wait, where is the footage? I just clicked it and I don't have it. Come on. He has Hyde has faced criticism for days regarding the Valentine's Day stop and has said he's been barraged with voicemails attacking his behavior. Why doesn't the article just say what the behavior is? Jesus. Immediately after being pulled over, Beskin in the video walks to Hyde's vehicle and speaks to him about why she pulled him over. She had tagged him driving 57 miles an hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. You don't need to point at me, officer. Hyde tells Beskin, I'll just call the chief. You know who I am, right? Beskin says she does, and later in the video is seen privately saying his name to dispatch. The driver is being extremely uncooperative, she states. Martin Hyde. I just gave him 3 tickets. Hyde, during the stop, not only alludes to calling Rex Truge, but says he will call Marlon Brown, the city manager, and then the mayor. He at one point asks, is it your Russian immigrant status that makes you talk to people like this? Oh, what a piece of... Well, this is the exact opposite of how I deal with this. Been in New York for the first time yesterday. Cool sites to visit. Would never want to live here through the insanity. I don't know. I would tell you to visit Lucha Lucha at 283 Nostrand Avenue to get the best burrito in the world, but they're closed. I'd tell you to check out Mazzetto for the best truffle gnocchi in the city on East Houston Street and Allen Street, but they're closed. There's a lot of places I'd love to tell you to go to, but they're all closed. So I have nothing to tell you. Sorry. Please post your workout routine in the community post. Oh, thank you. So yeah, when I get stopped by an officer, usually, like, again, what I do is... I'm not going to be able to, let's say, I want to say I enjoy these streams. I'm 30 and I watch your YouTube content religiously. Please watch others as well. I hope you do more of these live streams because I enjoy them. Would you consider making what I eat in a day videos? I eat different things every day, so I don't know if that would really be a good topic, but I'm open to it. I don't want people to get the idea that I'm a nutritionist in any way, shape, or form. I have no clue what I'm doing with what I put in my body. When it comes to the traffic stop, like if I were stopped by a police officer, I'd probably have my hands on the wheel like this. I'd open all my windows. You know, I'd like say, can I get my registration and license? I'm going to reach in here. Here you go. I'm truly sorry. You know, like that's it. You know, like, because at the end of the day, what are you trying to do? Their likelihood of giving you a ticket is going to be lower if they're annoyed at you. So why are you going to make them annoyed at you by fighting with them? Like the more that you do that, the more you engage their lizard brain to want to give you a fine just because you're being a bad human being. So like if anything, I would want to be as nice as humanly possible. I'd want to make their job as easy as humanly possible. Have the windows open so you feel like you can, you know, you're not threatened. You can see whatever's in there. Reach for my stuff. Have my hands. I don't know. I've honestly never gotten a speeding ticket. It's crazy. Like I haven't gotten pulled over. I've never gotten pulled over. Never gotten a speeding ticket. Like it's gonna happen someday, I'm sure. But that's the way I would deal with it when I get one. But anytime I've had to deal with a police officer, even if I felt that they weren't really being the nicest to me, you know, like it's really about, at the end of the day, I just want to avoid getting in trouble and getting a ticket. I don't want to, like, it's not about winning some stupid argument. But I guess that's an ego thing, you know. You have to be willing to fall on your sword a little bit. I don't think a lot of people are willing to do that. Do you have a laptop tramp stamp? I don't have a laptop tramp stamp or a personal tramp stamp. I did know somebody that had their ex-wife's name tattooed on their lower calf, and that's something you should never do, because what it does is it means you either have to get an expensive and painful procedure done, or you have to find a new girlfriend that has the same name as the old one, which really limits your possibilities. I am not getting jacked, you know, this is just a camera angle. It's camera angle and lighting. Like, I'm not jacked. Camera angle and lighting. And admittedly, some of it is the sand that's on my arm right now. I miss New York City's indoor-outdoor dining good vibes. No, I don't. I don't miss that dystopian mess. When will you equip BlackBerry, Oreo, and Clinton with lasers to take over the world? That's just a silly one. I think you're entertaining. Thank you, Pop-Tart. Kitsch, that's the number. That's the company. Kitsch makes the diagnostic tool for the ice cream machines. Okay, I missed it. 10 years ago, you had a point about injustice. Now you're trying to make a point from an ivory tower. I don't know what that means. I actually don't know what that means. And also, this isn't an ivory tower. This is like a one-star motel. So, a thumbs up for how you handled the nosy and rude tea comment. Thank you. Bike tours of New York City were fantastic. The toxicity between YouTube versus Twitch comments is noticeable. Yeah, Twitch is usually mean. Action Kid left too. Who's Action Kid? What a little thing on the Mac motherboards you would change, but in your opinion could have a big impact on performance? I don't mind repairability. What I would do is I would cover it with that tape that Lenovo uses in these machines and make the keyboard in a manner where it routes the water around the motherboard so that when you spill liquid on it, it doesn't kill your $1,200 motherboard that has your SSD soldered onto it with all of your data fully encrypted. I kind of like the rants in the post-apocalyptic city. A lot of people did. Maybe I'll go back. There's a video by Johnny Harry about how they're scamming people with the broken ice cream machine. Yeah, Johnny Harris had the best video by far, covering the entire McDonald's ice cream thing. If you're interested in it, again, it's just so detailed and so good. You should watch Johnny Harris's video. Did anything tell you to just relax when you were on the beach? No, I'm not good at relaxing on beaches. How much of right to repair money raised have we spent? From the 501c3 or the 501c4? From the C4, like I have to go to QuickBooks to look at this, but like at this point, somewhere in like the, again, I'm just shooting off the top of my head, like 50 to 75K, I think. But don't quote me on that until I release the 990. Vaccine mandate for New York City restaurants removed today. How do you feel about this? Step in the right direction. Someone explain what AMA is, please. Use Google. How often do you eat out? Honestly, too much. It's one of the, I'm a very cheap person at heart, but I'm also a horrible cook. So, and that's my one vice. Well, second vice. My first vice is for phase coherent loudspeakers. It's surprising to see an early 30s male who has a large following in social media and not utilize his internet fame into having a harem of beautiful women. When will you do a harem reveal? You realize that everybody watching this channel are men, right? Like, no offense, Teresa, but like the rest, you're in Australia, so I can't even confirm. But like, this is a completely male channel. Like, this is a channel on board repair and component level motherboard repair, angry rants at the news. This is a very, very male audience, and I am a straight man. Do you feel like you gained ego after being idolized? No, because the thing is, the way it works is how to put this? If you take the comments idolizing you seriously, you also have to take the comments calling you an utter, complete piece of trash, egotistical garbage seriously. And the way that I try to deal with it is I try to take neither seriously. So the people that put me on a pedestal, I take as seriously as the people that treat me like I deserve to die in my comment section and physical hate mail and stuff that I get. So what I do is when it comes to YouTube and all these comments in general, I try my best, and I fail sometimes, to not take any of them to heart. I don't take the good ones to heart, and I try not to take the bad. Because again, if I take the good ones to heart, well, then I also have to take the bad ones. If I take the bad ones, I'm going to jump off a bridge. Like I try to place a mental block altogether. I don't take the good ones or the bad ones seriously. Have you had any hands on any new tech products that make a nice effort in regards to repairability? Framework. That was the last one. That's exactly how I behave. They never seem appreciative, but whatever, it's a rough job. I don't know what that means. Oh, you mean the police officers when getting stopped? Yeah. I mean, that, if you don't want a ticket, that's the way to deal with it. And here's the other thing. The way somebody, this is really important when we talk about politicians. The way somebody treats you when they don't have to treat you well, when they actually have the right to treat you poorly, really dictates a lot of a person's character. So when somebody, like, have you ever been in a relationship with somebody where you messed up, like you actually did something wrong, you cost your spouse or your girlfriend time or money or a little bit of sanity in their day, and they actually had the right to be mad at you and yell at you and, this make you feel guilty or sigh and do all that stuff, and they didn't do it? You remember what that was like? Like when they actually had the right to do all that stuff and they said, oh, don't worry about it. Things happen. Here. And they just gave you a hug. Like stuff like that at work, in politics, when you're dealing with a traffic stop, anything like that, that really shows character. And what shows the opposite of character is when somebody actually has the right to be an asshole in something. This guy doesn't even have the right to be an asshole. You're doing 57 and a 30, bro. But I guess he thinks he has the right because he has all these people on speed dial. But like when somebody believes that they have the ability to get away with something, how do they act? How do they treat you? How do they talk to you? That says a lot about character. You know, it's what do you do when you actually are in the right to yell at somebody? How would you imagine your life without cats? I don't. I don't imagine my life without cats. Don't make me. I'm 6 minutes behind in chat, by the way. Where did you go? That is classified information. For the purposes of this trip, I have preferred that stay classified. And I've had a good go at that so far. I just wanted to be left alone, to be honest with you. And I got what I asked for. Well, partially. The other portion of it was massive trolling. But part of it was being left alone. Where are you living now? I am a nomad. I live nowhere. I am a nomad. I'm trying to convince my wife we need to retire early in GTFO NYC, and I'm using all the YouTube's videos that we watch to do it. I think it's working. Well, I'm happy for you. I hope you get to retire and leave. Do you mediate? I mediate arguments from time to time. If you could change one thing about how you approach business, what would it be? What I would change about how I approach business is I would make less YOLO gambles. If you're moving out of New York City, if you're intending to manage your staff remotely, and if so, what challenges do you see in it? The challenges of remotely managing anybody is that nobody takes you seriously when you're not there. Like again, you could say, okay, here's an idea, here's something we should do, here's why, and I want this person to do it at this time in this way, and like you just show up and like nobody actually did it. They are surprised that you are surprised it didn't. It doesn't work. Like when you walk up and say like, yeah, what the F, like why didn't you? And then they'll do it, you know? Like, that's the one thing that doesn't, like, with remote management, it's just a royal pain. That, and you can't really see what the problems are to some extent. You can't see why something is slowing down. Is it because somebody's not getting along with somebody? Is it because their tool is really worn and it's causing whatever issue? It's hard to see certain things that fail. But I intend to stop by from time to time. Hello, Jamie, how are you? We have somebody involved in commercial real estate in New York City here. You should check out her page if she has a channel. Jamie Fuest at Corcoran Group Realty. So many properties that I could not afford to rent from there. I do enough things to qualify as male, I just don't look the part. That's a compliment for yourself, Teresa. I'm a straight woman married too. Okay. Maybe there's one of you out there. Good morning from northern New Jersey. Lewis, it sucks here. We're basically New York City minus anything cool, but similar cost of living. I got 6 PTO days and I got to get out of here. I just wanted to vent. Shout out to my boy, Mr. Clinton. Oh, are you talking about like Cliffside Park, Fort Lee area? Yeah, I know an employee that lives there. I visit from time to time. It's like slightly nicer than New York City, but it's very much so like New York City. Miha says females are not allowed here. I guess I'm a head out. Nobody said you're not allowed. I don't know where you heard that from. You kind of took what I said and twisted it horribly. It's just that my YouTube analytics doesn't really lie. It says that it's anywhere from 0.6%. Sometimes it hits a high of like 3 or 4%, but for the most part, it's usually like 0.6%. I am behind by 3 minutes. You are hot. Are you bi? I am not bisexual. Not that there's anything wrong with that if you are. Just not for me. Not for me. Have you considered being a monk? Why or why not? I have never considered that, and there is no why to it. There's just no. May I ask what this trolling you have referenced a few times about pertains to? No. That's why this is an Ask Me Almost Anything. That's what we call an Ask Me Almost Anything. I don't think you understand how hot you look. That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. I don't know. I won 2K and I don't know anything about finance. Do you think that's enough to invest something? Yeah, it is. I mean, do you have debt or any problems in your life that you should pay off before you start investing? I would do that first, but if you don't, then yeah, I mean, why not? The thing with investing is that it's not really about uh, the problem here is that it's about behavior. Like people, when they don't have a lot of money, they think there's no point to investing stably. Like, okay, I'm going to make my 5 to 15% a year. 5% on $2,000 is like, they'll say, oh, I'm going to get $100 a year. Yay. Like I'm going to make a living off of that. But it's not about that. It's about behavior. So if you start it when you're younger and you get that behavior put into place, then when you actually start making more money, if you keep doing it, it'll actually start compounding. But the thing is, if you don't start somewhere, then you're never going to do it. So it's really about it's the behavior that matters more. And I really wish I had known that when I was younger instead of doing stupid shit, because I thought, well, I only have this much. So the only way that it's going to be worth it is if I do something to try to double it. You know what happens when you try to double your money? You lose it. Anyway, it's about the behavior. So it's not really about the 2K. But when it comes to the money, what I would say with the $2,000 is use that money to pay off. And again, if you owe people money, if you have collections or stuff like that, if there's anything that you're very nervous about not having money for 1 week from now, pay all that stuff off and then put that into some sort of conservative investment. As fuel prices continue to escalate, so does having electric transportation, car, or bike look all the more appealing. Anyhow, enjoy your time in New Hampshire and continue the good fight. Befang, oh yes. Now, the cost of energy is going to go up altogether. And the sad thing is, again, the thing about oil prices going up is it really just winds up increasing the price of everything, because you use oil to move things around, and also, for creating plastics, but also for moving the things around that we all buy, which winds up making everything expensive across the board. You look good today, says F. I don't think I look really good today. I think I have horrible lighting and look like a bum that just got back from a beach without taking a shower. Too much toxic masculinity here, says Aso. Cry more. I just finished watching Johnny Harris's YouTube channel, Why Mickey D's Ice Cream Machines Are Always Broken. It's worth checking out. It really is. That was a good video. That was a very quality video. Like he really outdid himself with the research on that and the explanation and everything. What is the purpose of this thingy with blue light behind you? This, I could plug my phone into it. So check this out. So it's a multi-plug. So I can plug my laptop into it, and if I find my effing cable... This is why my phone's never charged, by the way. Yeah, wires. Here we go. If I want, I could plug my phone into it, as well as my laptop and some other things at the same time. So it kind of comes in handy if you're traveling, because sometimes the places I travel to do not have enough plugs available, and it gets very annoying. So I can plug my phone in here, I can plug my headphones in on the side, I can plug my laptop in over there. It's very handy. If you were to make a sequel to Which F Word is the Most Offensive video, what word would you find most offensive besides family or friend? Well, the F word there that I found the most offensive is friend, and there are many reasons that you could find the friend word offensive. But I stand by that video. I don't think I... Yeah, I still think misusing the F word is more offensive than the rest. I get it's a power cord connected to someone. What is the purpose for the thing with the blue light? Oh, I think I just explained that. Are you considering living outside the U.S.? I haven't ruled anything out. Not ruling anything out. No, not commercial, dear, residential. I'm always honored, thank you. The rental market is utterly crazy, under 1% vacant, just can't wrap my head around it. That's insane. 20% when it comes to females watching cat videos. Maybe. Paying off debt before investing, that's awful advice. No, it's not. You are... Because here's the thing. When you lose your job, or when something horrible happens to you, and the market also crashes at the same time that you lose your job and something horrible happens to you, what are you going to do? See, I like my life to be one of less stress, less aggravation, so that if the world falls apart and everything around me goes wrong, I can go, my business goes away, everything else goes away. I can go, while everybody else is going, oh my God, what do I do? I don't want to be pulling my hair out all the time. And, if I miss out on a percentage gain here or there, fine. But I want to live a life that is, not filled with it. Student loans are a trap, so with that advice, you'll never be able to invest. Incorrect. My advice would be don't take out shitty student loans. So you're saying that I give bad financial advice as somebody who takes out student loans. Do you know how much student loan debt I have? None. Do you know how many student loans I have? None. Because I didn't do that. I didn't get some I didn't, spend freaking $80,000 getting some scam bachelor's degree in some crappy subject. My advice would be do not fall for the student loan thing altogether. Like, just no. Don't do that. But I would still have the same advice. I would get rid of my student loan debt as soon as possible. I've been watching pimple popping videos. I've reached a new low in life. Don't do that, Teresa. Stop that. Stop that. Goal: finding a loophole to pile up yearly rent money that pays off nearly 2 years up front. Hopefully landlord gives me a discount. That doesn't sound easy. Hi, Carrie. How are you? Hope you're having a great day. What's your daily driver as a phone? What do you think of the Zenfone 8? I have never tried the Zenfone 8. I'm using a used Samsung S10e that I just put a new battery into. Well, new, some crappy knockoff battery because the Samsung ones are no longer available on their site. Have you considered hub gears for your Bafang? No, the reason is it's a royal pain in the ass to change that stuff, and I'm not much of a bike mechanic. What can you bench? My max ever was, I believe, 285. Yeah, 285. I'm probably up to 290 now. I just haven't checked it yet because I've been trying to do more reps at 255 and 225, and I haven't tried to max out in like almost a year. Would you love to travel to Newegg like Steve did and confront them about their RMA practices? I don't use Newegg, so probably no. And most of my audience doesn't really care. I don't build PCs or do stuff like that on this channel, so I don't think it would really. There's no like story arc or narrative there. With Steve at Gamers Nexus, like, Newegg screwed him. Newegg just absolutely screwed him. So there is a great interest to his audience for him to do that, and I think he should have done that. I think Steve at Gamers Nexus did exactly what he should have done in that situation, and God bless him for it. But like, I don't have any beef with Newegg because I never use Newegg, and I also don't. I didn't have a problem with them. And again, after seeing what they did to him, there's no way in hell that I'm using Newegg. What happened to Erica? She is gone. She is single. I am single. We are living separate lives. Mayor Adams is a great mayor, the greatest mayor. None of the above. You think generator-based EVs are a good middle ground between EVs and ICE cars? I don't know. As a woman, one of the first things I repaired was an iPod Classic. Recently, I built my own PC. Soon, I will leave for Windows for Linux. I just wish some softwares are Linux compatible. Me too. I miss out on a lot. I've recently been thinking about selling all my crypto investments and buying a decent house in the Philippines, becoming a full-time creator where I show off beautiful... What? Get something else to do. Get something else to do, man. Don't do that. Find something else to do with your life. Certainly glad that I've managed to finally buy a house now that I can repay even if I have to fall back to government assistance, says Paul Daniels. Paul Daniels is never going to need it, government assistance. You have so many Flex board view sales. You're going to have so much board repair in Australia. I see you posting regular live streams. I took a small loan and landed a job instantly, only 10K. What is the small loan? How did that deal with the job? Are you dead inside? I am not dead inside. I am not dead inside. I am, Mary Rose says, do you have Patreon? I do, but I don't. I stopped using it mostly since after I started the nonprofit. Since I was mainly using that for right to repair, like travel and lobbying. And P.S. I'm female. YouTube takes 45% of super chat. I just read the stuff in here, Mary Rose. You don't have to pay for something to get read. College is a scam to trap dumb people, says Jessica, whatever. It really depends what you're going for. But I do think that it really has went from being an education of higher learning to a, what's the word I'm looking for? A diploma mill to just kind of, ka-ching, 40K, 80K, 80K, useless diploma, 80K, useless diploma, 80K, useless diploma. And that does make me sad. What were some misconceptions you had about entrepreneurship before starting your own business? The biggest misconceptions that I had was that I should do what I want to do rather than what other people actually need. Like, people say, I want to start a business doing what I want. Okay, but does anybody else need that service? Is when you want to start a business, you want to start a business doing something that's not being done properly right now, or to the proper standard right now, something that there's actual demand for, something that people want. You got to figure out what that is. That's the hardest part of it. It's not the 12 or 16 hours of work a day that you do when you start a business that's the hardest part. It's finding something, any sort of niche where there is actual value being provided by you doing it. You know, 285 one rep map. That's pretty nice, bro. Hell yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's about 125 pounds more than I weigh, so I'm very happy with that. Once it's 130 pounds more than I weigh, I'll be really happy with that. I want to be able to get my weight. I'm at 161 right now. I want to be able to go down to 155 pounds, and I still want to be able at 155 pounds to do five reps on bench press with 255. Which is the most non-evil tech company? Framework. I'll still rep Framework. How about a new walk around in New York City? I am so far from New York City right now that it would, I'm very, very far from New York City right now. Who are you? I'm Louis Rossmann. If you're spelling my name with an O, you're already ahead of 90% of my audience. How long do you think it would take to train Mr. Clinton to repair a motherboard? Less time than an Apple genius. Sorry for your separation. I'm not sorry. She's not sorry. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with pursuing your happiness. Finally decided to start my repair business, mostly focused on cell phones and laptops. Any suggestion on what products to sell to the public? I would mainly focus on repair in the beginning. I'm not good at accessories. Why do you think AOC has risen to her level of fame in the way she has in the past few years? You should really run for her seat. If anyone can do it, you can. No, I can't. I am so much more right-wing than her. Are you kidding? I would not get a single vote in New York City. Like, see, I would not. Nobody's going to vote for me in New York City. I would get tomatoes thrown through my window. But mainly, I think she speaks to a disaffected group of people that feel like they've been getting screwed over for a really long time. Same thing that Trump did. Like, Trump just said what a lot of people were thinking. I think she says a lot of things. That's, again, I've done videos on why I think some of the takes that she has are not, I'm trying to figure out how to say it. I think some of her takes are brain dead. But the thing is, even if the actual fact is not, even if the facts don't really necessarily add up, the sentiment, the rhetoric rings true to people. So even if, like, the reason something is the way it is not the way because of how she says it is, the rhetoric still rings true to the person that's experiencing suffering and pain and aggravation and misery in their lives. And she speaks for disaffected people, How do you feel about the practice from online resellers, deceptive selling on websites from third-party providers, like Target selling products that have never been in a Target or associated with Target? I don't know what that means. I mean, third part. I don't know. I mean, a lot of. You mean like when on Walmart they'll say this is a third-party seller, but it'll be on Walmart.com? How is that different from, let's say, Amazon? I don't know how that's deceptive. We'd like to host you when you come north again. This area has a lot of potential for getting food from both land and sea. Low real estate pricing compared to average price in the U.S. Low real estate taxes. Where are you, Fred? Keep focused and keep following your happiness. Thank you for the happiness you bring all of us. How far is the drive from New Hampshire apartment to NYC store? About 4 hours. I'd say 4 hours. Approximately 4, maybe 4.5. 3 hours if I drive like my ex-receptionist. Oh, she's going to punch me if she watches that. Hello from Poland. I just got a MacBook Pro, and for CSGO, it suck. Have a good day. True. Just popped in to stay high from Norway. Enjoy your content. Your microphone sounds great and has richness and depth. Your cameras usually look great. I don't bring lighting with me when I travel, so I just twist the crappy motel lighting. This is a DPA 4066 microphone, and this is a Zoom H1N that I plug in as a little audio interface for it because I don't feel like getting an XLR to 3.5 millimeter adapter when I'm not using it wirelessly. Your opinion of the most reliable non-Apple PC brand? One that handles video editing and the transfer of old VHS tapes. So going over for 1K for SSD worth it. You can get an SSD for way cheaper. I can't click that, so I can't click that. So, yeah, I can't click stuff in the OBS screen. Sorry. So when it comes to SSDs, even if you're spending less than $1,000 in a computer, you have to get it with an SSD. Like you're not gonna have your operating system running on a spinning hard drive, right? You know how painfully, disgustingly slow that is? Don't do it. You're going to regret it. Now, I would want to say framework, but again, the problem with saying framework is that the company itself is so new that I don't really know what the long-term reliability of their products is. I have no clue. I don't know what that is. So I would say the P, T, and W series ThinkPads, like the business class ThinkPads, I'd say. Thor, I can't click links. Like sorry. Also, it's a conspiracy link, so I know if I click that, I'm probably going to see Goatsy. I can't click stuff in the OBS screen. As a fellow technician, I love those MacBook repair videos from years ago. They helped me improve my schematic reading skills. I fix high-powered transmitters at component level. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm glad you learned something from it. You should watch Paul Daniels' videos. Paul Daniels, STS Telecom, Tim Herman at TCRS Circuit, Jesse Cruz at VCC Board Repairs, iPad Rehab. These are all great places to look at if you want to learn how to do more of this from people that are still doing those videos. How do you test this mount of boards that are only plugged into power? My board is 0 voltages everywhere because it's not turned on. Oh, well, even if it's not, well, MacBooks are supposed to automatically turn on when you have power for anything that is a Core i or i5 or i7. So that's pretty much, anything made after 2011. 2011 or above, 2010 if we're talking about the 15-inch. Start a business on doing something the best, not the lowest price. I learned this the hard way. The race to the bottom is quick and ugly. That's true. You're not the only one in New Hampshire with a Tesla unless you are getting something at the North Main Street, St. Cumbles and Concord. Glad to see you're getting some R&R, but not that you're being trolled. I welcomed the trolling. I literally asked the trolling to come in through my front door. So I don't get to complain. But I've enjoyed my time here. Is business slow at the moment? Business is all right. Slower than last month, faster than January. If you want to go and get into bow hunting, I'm always looking for a partner in New Hampshire. Bow hunting, that sounds interesting. You don't think small business owners and home renters unable to afford property would vote for you? No. No. No, I wouldn't get any votes in New York City. I put my foot in my mouth so many times. P, T, and W series ThinkPads. No, there's no C though. No, the P, like the P series, like the P50, P51, P52, P53. T series, like T450, T460, T470, T480, and W series. Actually, the W series is really old. So the W is what used to be the P series back in the day. Would you miss hands-on work if you moved to a more technical advisory position? I don't miss hands-on work now, honestly. When are you going to visit Europe? I don't know. Where would you go if you want a nice urban city or town anywhere in the world other than New York City? I don't know, and that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out right now. If I'm trying to buy a replacement battery for a laptop or phone, how do I know which brand makes a good one? I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question. There's not really a review system for these. There's not really any consistency to the manufacturing of them that is good enough that where I could just continuously buy something from the exact same person over and over and over again and know what I bought last year is the same as what I got this year. It's a real pain in the ass. I bought a replacement battery for my Samsung S10e. Samsung does have a parts website where you can buy parts of their products, but it's a garbage website. It's missing a lot of photos, and one of the other really annoying things about this website is that it had no parts for my particular phone and no battery. So I did what you usually do is you just kind of flip a coin and spin the wheel and choose a random vendor and pray the battery is good. And what really sucks about that is that you glue the battery into this phone. So, you use this horrible adhesive on it. So if I want to figure out if it's good, I have to keep the phone open and have it sucks. it should be easier to get original parts, but it's not, even if you want to pay for it. How is it deceptive if the site tells you it's from a third party? I agree with you, JF. I'm looking to replace my 9-year-old crumbling Xperia E. Any decent phone brand around for $100 budget somebody could recommend me. I like a lot of the Motorola phones. The low end, I like Moto G. How do you do a kickflip? I have no idea. Do you ever travel with cats? I do not travel with cats. It's hard enough to have my cat in one place. My husband has a blue light device. I'm getting one too, very small and useful. Yeah, I wouldn't want to travel with a blue light device. I would probably stop traveling. Are you into Hispanic girls? I'm 24 and I've been watching your videos since you did your first collaboration with Linus. You can impregnate me if you want. I'm not even joking. There's like a 1%. What the? Well, one of the things when I want a relationship with someone, and this is a conversation that I was having very recently, is I like to have there to be some sort of progression. You know, like there's the getting to know you period. There's the like getting to know you a little bit more deeply period. There's the I don't know, spending more time together period. Dating, relationship, like right before marriage. Engagement, marriage. It's really awkward if you start out by saying that you want somebody to impregnate you, and that's probably not the best place to start. But you're probably a dude that's trolling me, because that's what 99% of this channel is. I've been following you for a while, and I want to see what you think about God. I see His power. I know He's real. If you can ever look up the gospel of Jesus Christ, it would change your world. I don't have any evidence or proof that He's real. So I kind of disagree with you there. I think that religion has done a lot of good it does a lot of good for a lot of ordinary people, because it gives them a sense of community. It gives them a sense of morality. It gives them a reason to go to a building and for 1 hour each week think about what they did that was wrong and how they could be a better human being. And again, if it gives them people a sense of community, morality, everything else, that's helpful. I don't look down on people who are religious. I know there are people in places like New York that like to look down on the idiots and the backwards people that actually care about things like community and morality and everything else. And I don't look down on them. I really don't. It's just I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God the way that it's described in a book. You got to give, I'm open to the idea that something's out there, but like when you say, no, here are the names of them, here's exactly when all this stuff happened, it's like, really? How do you know? Give me some proof. That's my thought on it. Don't buy a yoga. Yeah, do not buy a yoga when it comes to ThinkPads. Don't buy that junk. Have you seen Steam's take on Right to Repair with their Steam Deck? I have, and I did a video on it a while back, and I'd like to visit what it is that they did with iFixit. I want to go through their parts at some point and see if they actually... What I want to do is I want to see if they're actually making stuff available that's actually useful to end users. Because again, what Apple does, I don't want a screen assembly that costs $500 or $400. I want the LCD cell that costs $72. I don't need to replace the whole thing. Like, yeah, technically you made the part available. Technically you made a $500 part available for a $750 computer that goes for $600 on eBay. But, excuse me. Why is there no iPad category on your forum? Because there isn't. We have MacBook Tech. If you want iPad Tech, you go to iPadRehab.com. We have a lot of A1311s. Oh, God. I've changed the thermal paste in them last year. 5 of the GPUs still died. Oh, God. Any advice on how to make them survive? You don't. You take a GPU out of a Dell. I haven't done this in a long time. Duke used to do this, I think. And you flash it so that the Mac will work with it, and then you deal with it. I forget exactly the name of it. I know a bunch of people that were doing that. There's something similar to that. I haven't had an HTC phone since I had an HTC Sensation 4G in 2011, and the screen was absolutely horrible. When I switched out to a Samsung, the screen became, much, much better. Your lighting is very villainy. Thank you. That's what I'm going for. Let's see. Okay, I'm scrolling past your comments on something that you should... I really want to know more about these Rossmann conspiracies that were mentioned earlier. What Rossmann conspiracies? If you want me to click something, you have to put it in a normal chat. I can't click links that are put in this thing over here because it shows up on OBS as an overlay. I can't click that. There's a lot of comments that I make and others make moderator or not that still get blocked by you. I'm guessing the YouTube because of its controversial topic. Yeah, you know what really annoys me is when my own comments on my own video wind up not showing up when I'm responding to somebody in the comments and I'm not even cursing. Like when I curse I get it, but when I'm not cursing I really don't get it. I've been looking at the Steam Deck. I can't wait till the eventual heat death of the universe to get one. What? What are you talking about? Hi. Are you still fixing iPhones or just data recovering iPhones? Mostly data recovery when it comes to iPhones, to be honest with you. Yeah. Lewis, you have a bot running around on the community post with a WhatsApp number. I have banned and reported at least 1,000 of those things. I give up. They win. I can't. YouTube doesn't care about it, so why should I? What the fucking... What the... Are you serious? What is this shit? Uses a secret iPhone 8, pays for e-bike repair, multi-millionaire, worked for Acer in 2009, live stream runs on Mac Minis, r/Apple mod. Text file with Eugene's last words, dinner with Foxconn, the public meet incident, Lewis is playing a character, seized Mac rumors LLC shares, Russian A1534 variant. Estrogen-laced motherboards, fanspin audio file, what did $1 million donor get in return, hidden Flexgate microphone, Sunny's CCP affiliations, Paul was cucked by Craig Ferry, right to repair, oh what the... Failed Cuomo assassination. Intel has no management. Dead repair wiki contributors. North Korea nonprofit transactions. 2017 Steve Jobs sighting. Peabody G3 Hot contains human DNA. Forgotten Al. What the? You got too much time on your hands, man. What the? Dude. Dude. Too much time on your hands. Have you ever tried burger soup? I have not. Where'd you get the travel charger? I don't remember. Have you talked to Eli about stepping away, getting the mantle passed to you? The mantle is not for me. The mantle is for somebody else. Like, the mantle is for somebody else with that, not me. This channel's kind of dead. But, like, again, you know, somebody else out there needs to become the next Tronics fix. Maybe Paul Daniels or Tim Herman or STS Telecom or one of those. If you do another interview or discussion with Michael Carvin, I think that would be fun. I probably should. I just don't know what it'd be about. I've reserved a Steam Deck, says hi. But excuse me, but the expected order availability is after Q2 2022, which could mean anywhere from July to the eventual heat death of the universe. Jeez, that's forever. Is a 2159 worth $600? I would think so. Depends on the specs though, but I think even a low-end one would probably be worth $600. You benefit from it, it's only more engagement anyway, lol. What is? What do you think about open source? I think it's open. No, I don't have anything against that. As Lewis, your thoughts on the Lenovo L and E series? Not a big fan. Not a big fan. This is top shelf nutty, says Outseeker. It is. Call a name. You don't got a religion with God, but a relationship. It's up to you to believe, but the Bible says the truth. Call his name in your times of need and you will get an answer. You know, I tried that a lot of times when I was younger and I never got an answer. Yeah, I've never gotten an answer. I'm open to trying it again, but something tells me I'm going to get the same response. Natalia Petrov says, one of the fans of my ThinkPad T480S sounds like it's being caught on something when it spins. Do you have a video on how to fix? The first thing I would do is use an air compressor and try shooting 55 or to 50 to 55 PSI into it. There are a lot of fans where you could do it at a higher pressure, but cheap, crappy fans sometimes will die if you blow more than 50 PSI into them, and I don't know what type of fan they used in there. So I would start with that. If that doesn't do it, then you replace it. But you never know. There could be something stuck in there. So 50 PSI with an air compressor. If that doesn't do it, then you would just buy a new fan on eBay or something like that and replace it. And best of luck, Natalia. What do you think of New York City's housing voucher system? Curious. I haven't seen their housing voucher system. There was one, I think it was like Proposition 45 or something like that. I forget. In the homeless video I did about Cuomo that I did about 6 or 7 months ago, I went over this new proposition they had. And the reason I was a fan of it is because it actually costs less than using the corrupt homeless shelter system that they have in the city right now. So even if you're somebody who thinks that there should be less welfare, less handouts, less everything else like that, that system is literally cheaper than just handing insane blank checks to these scammy, shady nonprofits that operate garbage homeless centers that most homeless people don't even want to use. They'd literally rather sleep on the street, even if they're not doing drugs, than go to the shelter. If we're talking about the same thing there, then I'm for it. If we're talking about something different, then I got to look into it. What would you do if you had 1 to 5 years to live if it was leukemia or cancer? What would I do if I had 1 to 5 years to live? If I had 1 to 5 years to live, I would, I want to say that I would stop working. I think I would stop working because I would not want to deal with, answering fresh desk tickets on my phone or something, or handling an employee dispute or something if I really only had 1 to 5 years. I wouldn't, obviously my retirement would be cut short. So what I've saved right now is not enough for me to retire. It's more than enough for me to have 1 to 5 years of fun, if that's all it is. So I would probably stop any sort of work and schooling that I was taking part in. I'd probably do a lot of world travel. I would do a lot of world travel. I wouldn't really care about whether or not I'm, again, I wouldn't really care about whether this is taking me away from my career or taking me away from anything else, because I'm being taken away anyway. So I think I would do a lot of travel. I would immediately stop all school and work, and that's that. But you don't have leukemia, so you're fine. You should have a little bit more confidence in the results than that. I always say this. I always say Jesus Christ, but the dude never shows, says Teresa. That's because you're Australian. I'm about to go to Marine Corps boot camp. Just wanted to say thank you for making the videos. Your opinions and ideas have helped greatly. Thank you very much, Cole. I really appreciate that. I'm sure Paul would have something nice to say to you. He entered the Marine Corps in the late 1990s. Once a Marine, always a Marine, they say. Just want to say thanks. You're a good dude. I'm not that great a dude, Dylan Thomas. I'm not that great a dude, but I appreciate it. You make some of the best content on YouTube. I respect your dedication and right to repair. Keep it up. Thank you. Watch some other content, though. My content is not amazing. I'm talking about vouchers written to homeless to pay up to $2,200 rent by government, often in perpetuity. Landlords often 99% refuse them, but it's illegal. Well, again, that's a tough one. I understand why when you walk around New York City and there's a person that seems to be on drugs that is screaming at the top of their lungs and throwing things at people, where if you're a property owner, I understand why that property owner would say, you know what? I don't know what this dude's going to do to my place. And something tells me the city is not going to cover it when he breaks $20,000 of pipes or whatever the hell else while he's on some crack-induced rant inside my home. So I don't want to do that. I understand that. But at the same time, I don't know. What do you do? Louis, AMA means Louis loves in Portuguese. Louis Rossmann loves in Portuguese. But I'm not Portuguese. Yeah, so like I get why it's illegal to refuse the vouchers, because you have a lot, because again, how would the system even work in any way, shape, or form if you were just allowed to refuse the voucher? But I can understand what that, we know what I'd really be interested in. I'd really be interested in the ratio. Like, how many of the people that get these vouchers are just normal people that fell on bad times that would make perfectly fine tenants versus people who were the type of people that would steal the copper out of your walls and then, you know, something like that. Hello, we have intel that suggests that your employee, Paul, has in fact been... Okay, who the hell is this person? What the hell is this? Oh, this dude at Apple. American engineer and business executive is a senior vice president of software engineering at Apple. Listen, Paul has not been. That has not happened. That has not happened. That is not true. That is fake news. Also, you're not actually MSNBC. Get out of here. What brand of bottled water are you drinking? Aquafina. Aquafina. I am not sponsored by them. Jesus died for you and you won't even acknowledge him. SMH. Prove it? I don't know. Prove it? That's really... Show me a video. Next. They don't seem friendly despite my family having honors from the U.S. Army Medical Department, which the Copyright Office tried to discredit us for the credit we get from them. It can be an act of war. Huh. Have you thought about getting a crock pot for cooking meals? You can cook on low for long periods, even time it so you have a hot meal when you get home. It's great for soups. I have not. Lewis, would you run in a marathon? You know, I'd consider it after about 6 months more of cardio. At 6 months more cardio, and I would. I also have to fix certain issues with my leg just cracked as I said that. Thank you, Stephen McGregor. Thank you. I have to, because I tore my quadricep 6 years ago, and there's like, I got like 99% of it back to where it's supposed to be, but I don't know if I'd feel comfortable running for a long distance until I fix it all the way. And I'm working on that. Why are you yawning? It's 10 a.m. where you are. Where am I? Where am I? You don't know where I am. You have no idea where I am. Nobody knows where I am. It's like a couple of people know where I am, but most people don't know where I am. I'm hiding. There's only one person in this chat that I know knows where I am, and I trust that they're going to keep quiet. Aquafina is trash. No, it's not. You're just being a fanboy. Cut that shit out. You're just being, oh. This is just the annoying thing about the internet. Aquafina water is absolutely fine. Get out of here. Pixar, it didn't happen. Pretty much Ultimate Power 01. That's my take on it. Why are you rude? I'm not rude. You're just very overly sensitive. Because you're overly sensitive, you get triggered over things that you shouldn't get triggered over, which is really more a you problem than a me problem. What's wrong with free water? In this motel, everything. Usually I drink free water. In New Hampshire I drink free water. In New York I drink free water. In Orlando, Florida, you couldn't pay me to drink the free water. And here, I'd damn near rather get shivved than drink the free water. I'll leave it at that. It's fine water. Your video that you talked about addiction and hitting rock bottom got me really emotional because I too lost a friend to an addiction. It hits you hard when you find out they are gone. It does. And it hits you hard when you think that there's something you could do. And you didn't do it. And that's why I feel bad. The quality of the water you drink does matter to your health over time, but you're acting as if Aquafina is like drinking diarrhea. And it's not. It's fine. Did you break up with your girlfriend? You seem more focused. I did. I was wondering if I had an A1534 in which the screen doesn't appear to fully turn on. Why would that happen? Because your CPU is dead, because the A1534 is the most garbage MacBook ever made behind the A1237 and A1304, and they should all be put into a damn compactor and destroyed and sent into space. Probably sent into space. But if we do that and we send A-1534s to other species, they may actually come here and do war with us because they would see that as an insult. Aquafina was canceled. Really? I mean, I'm drinking it right now. I just drank some right now. I don't have a filtration system. I tend to choose to live and work in places where I can drink the tap water. When I'm in some place where I do not trust the tap water, I buy these bottles of water in bulk so that I save some money. Schaefer, stop acting like this is a surprise. I challenge you to only drink body fluids for 1 week. If you win, I will invite you to an apartment in southern Sweden. That's not worth it. No. Ew. Go away. Will you drink Aquafina the musician, female pop star? What is... Oh, God. Okay. Should I be Googling this? Oh, Jesus. What? That's a ridiculous question. Okay. Image search. Answer is no. Not that there's anything wrong if you would like to, but not for me. What are you doing for cardio since you are traveling? I usually just find a really cheap gym in the area and I join it temporarily, or I get a quick pass. But I use an elliptical for 2 hours a day. Thanks for answering. Been following your channel forever. Wishing you the best. Come to South Florida again. I will. I visited Hollywood in South Florida recently and Miami, and that beach in Hollywood was really nice. I prefer tap. All the plastic jeeps me out. It does, and I honestly prefer having a normal cup and just going to the bathroom and just filling it up with cold water. Because in New Hampshire and New York, the water's pretty nice. In Florida, oh God, Florida. Orlando water is truly disgusting. But where I am right now, no, I'm not drinking the tap water. No, I like life. Why are you up early? It's not early here. So I've got a weird one. Previously I had a 2019 MacBook Pro. Water damage rendered it to not boot up. Now, 2.5 years later, I can power on, but battery doesn't work. What would have changed, you think? Your battery's dead. Or the SMC is bad. Most likely the battery's dead. Or you have corrosion on the battery cable. Lewis is in China preparing to take Taiwan back to its rightful owner. Incorrect. No. But I'm not as far from there as you would think. What's the update with your commercial license? That is all taken care of. I posted a follow-up to that in July. Do you know the economic model Eli had for Silicon Dojo? Was he restricted like you because on what he could spend money on? No. He didn't have... The economic model that Eli had for Silicon Dojo was... Hey, Lewis, I heard about your channel through Marcus Brownlee's video. I'm 27 and retired early because I used to be an OnlyFans creator. I stopped because it became hard for me to date. I would love to grab some vegan sushi sometimes. Do you have Snapchat? You people are all trolls, I swear to Christ. I don't have Snapchat, but I do. I have an email address that I'm not even going to publish here. I usually publish in all my videos, but I'm not publishing here because you're all trolling me tonight? No. What the? I know exactly who's doing these all, too. I know exactly who's sending these all. And she's in my chat right now. I know exactly who you are, and I know what you're doing. You cut that out. You troll. You absolute, utter troll. Anyway, stop that. It's 6:30 a.m., Lewis. Where are you that it's 6:30 a.m.? It's not 6:30 a.m. here. What country are you in? Guess. Let's get some guesses going. Why are you wherever you are? Because I am. You know, I have the exact same question for you. I'll be honest with you. I asked myself that question yesterday night and this morning. And when I get an answer from myself, I'll make sure to tell you. Shoo, Schaefer, shoo. I've never been much of a subscriber, but your videos inspire me nonetheless. Knowledge and skills can be attained. That's the major reason why I've started my own repair business. I hope your repair business has a lot of success. When are you in Tampa area? I don't know. Next time I'm in Tampa, I have to go see somebody in Discord. I have a microscope tool I would like to show you. I don't know when I'm going to be in Tampa. You're going to get catfished for sure. Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's obvious. It's coming. I'm definitely going to get catfished. I think I got catfished here, to be honest with you. It's not me, I promise. Oh, get out of here. No, of course it's you. You're the exact type of person that would do this. And laugh while you're doing it. It's definitely you. Some companies got in trouble a few years ago for dumping uranium-filled drilling salts in central and northern Florida, and all leaked in the water table. Yeah, no, ew, go away. I could give you your $1.99 back, I would. Hell no. My feet are worth way more than that. I wouldn't give feet pics away for less than $1 million. Like $1 million lump sum. Yeah, when I went to there was a Hilton hotel in Orlando, Florida. A Hilton, not a cheap hotel. And the water reeked of so much sulfur, it was just disgusting. Like, you turn the shower on and it smells like something is decaying in there. It's almost worth it to not to deal with the state income tax, though. Positron, I'm not answering the same question 1.7 million times. They all want to stop you up with a biscuit, Lewis. I don't know what that means, but that sounds scary to me. How did you become so experienced? I'm not very experienced. The only experience that I have is failing over and over and over and over and over again. And eventually you get it. Ever meet the bully you threw you down the stairs in school? No, I never. Wait, no, I never met that guy again after that happened. Normally you don't read Twitch chat, so I just watch instead of trying to form an expressionable question that is intriguing. And that's why I never read Twitch chat. Do you remember the delicious scent and flavor of freshly made garlic bread? If you don't remember, it remembers you. No, but I had some really good garlic naan yesterday. It was amazing. The Eli question left us waiting. Yep. How did you... Oh. Let's see. I have a video that goes over some failures. Let's see. How start. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. You know what? I will give you an answer to your question. Answer to your question is being posted in main chat right now. Ta-da! But yeah, I'm not really experienced. I kind of don't know what the hell I'm doing, and I just make it up as I go. Should governors invest time and money to make water filters a necessity, or at least make it easily available? Are you talking about at the point that water comes into your house, or are you talking about them giving you filters that you put on your tap? I'm really between a rock and a hard place in life. I'm studying, aspiring to be accepted into construction engineering, but I also have a thing for MacBook repairs. Man who keeps taking money. For Mac repairs, man who keeps taking money. I have $80 in my bank account with zero income. What do? I'm confused. So you want to do construction engineering, you don't have a job, and you want to do MacBook repairs. I mean, I think construction engineering probably has a better long-term prognosis than MacBook repair. If you have the free time to be able to do MacBook repair on the side while you're learning construction engineering, I would say start a little side business, post on Craigslist and everywhere else, put pull tab signs up and see what happens. But construction engineering, if you're into it and you're good at it and you're actually good at school, unlike me, then, you know, again, that's one of those things that I think is going to have a rosier long-term outlook than MacBook repair by far. Wish I was that ballsy of a troll. The only difference between completely distilled water and Aquafina is they add a tiny bit of table salt to the Aquafina. Not enough to taste the salt, just enough to balance flavorless. Huh. What is the sticker on my MacBook? It's near impossible to remove. It's a knockoff Dymo label. Hey, I saw other girls were shooting their shots, so I thought I might as well too. I'm 29, African-American woman who's conservative. I don't have kids, but I would like a family someday. I enjoy League of Legends, so there's something common with you. Who is this? Somebody take away their money. This is not real. Why is my ex-girlfriend trolling me like this? Why is my ex-girlfriend in chat trolling me like this? Why? Light bulbs are a good example of this. Fuel injection systems too. He's on a cruise. I am not on a cruise. Are you in Bangkok? I am not. I am not in Singapore. I am definitely not in Ukraine. Totally agree with you about the water. Lived in different parts of Florida, and the government there passed a law making it illegal to live off-grid and make your own water and power without having a water or power meter connection to your property. Why is it illegal to make your own water? Like, power may be something, but water? So how do you make your own water? Merrimack, New Hampshire has plastic in the water too. Look up the St. Goblin PFOC water problem. And while they say it's not in the public water, from my experience living there, it was definitely in the water. Yeah, I'm sure that's great for people's health. That sucks. I'll look into that, but that's really depressing. What do you think of internet dating? Oh, it is so depressing. I'm not doing that. Like, hell no. Never again. Like, that whole thing where you just sit here and do this all day. Like, I'd literally rather be single for the rest of my life than subject myself to this garbage. This is not the way humans were designed to interact. This is not the way humans were designed to socialize. Like, F this. Screw this. That is, like, no. And then there's the whole online dating thing with profiles, where you're supposed to read the profile and write the person a message. But in order to write a good message, you need to take time to actually read and get. You're going to put all this time and effort to write a message that is very specific to that person's profile. So you're going to spend 20 minutes on that, and they don't respond to you. And you're going to do that again. It's a numbers game. Like, you may contact 100 people and not hear and only hear from one. So if you're taking 10 minutes per message, that's like 1,000 minutes to get one result back. At least if you have a face that looks like this. Oh my God, my experience with online dating is like, oh, absolute trash. I remember at one point, just for the F of it, just to see if like there was actually a point to it. I remember what I did. I was walking home and to work every day. This is like 7 years ago, so that I could lose some weight. And I thought, I am going to sync it so that with each step, I will do a swipe, just to see if this actually works. And at one point, I had gotten up to over 6,000 swipes, because that's how I figured out that there's 6,000 steps from my apartment to the old store. And I should be saying that because now people could figure out where I live easier. But anyway, it was 6,000 steps, and I had done like 6,000 swipes for like 2 or 3 days. It actually helped me with my exercise, because it stopped me from going into the subway or just getting a cab, because it's like I have a responsibility now, and I didn't get a single thing back. But again, I'm ugly, so yeah, like this is my face. I had a better picture than this. I had a picture with like proper lighting and whatever, but mostly the main thing I take away from online dating is like that's just fundamentally not how people interact. Like, you know, we weren't designed for this. We weren't designed for social media in general. And I agree with Eli when he talks about how all of this is unhealthy. But like, again, just doing this all day, like that's just, I don't know, it's not, ugh. Maybe I would think differently of it if I was attractive, and I was attractive enough to actually get results on any of these things, but like, I am not. How many states have you visited? I don't remember off the top of my head. When you get upgrading to an iPhone? Never. What bicycles have you used for an e-bike conversion, and which seem to be the most durable in the long term? I've just used Trek or Yuba, but not because, don't take my advice on this. I'm not a bike expert in any way, shape, or form, and I use those out of convenience. I also used the Yuba because I wanted something that I could use to put a bunch of batteries on and also carry somebody else. Match.com, I signed up for 1 month, took 3 hours. First person online with a high match I messaged online, took on a date, and ended up married. Works! Well, your experience may vary. You know, results may vary. I tried OkCupid. I think I tried Bumble or Tinder like 7 years ago. Okay, not 7. It was like 7 or 6 years ago. Either way, like I would rather. Yeah, I'd rather just do something in real life. I got tricked by a friend into doing a speed dating event. I did it just for the hell of it. It was actually kind of fun. I didn't get anything out of it, but I could at least see something like that. But like again, just sitting there swiping, that's BS. If you're gonna do sit there swipe, at least go out to a speed dating event. I use your picture on Grindr, and every 2 swipe I get a match. So I don't know what you're talking about. That's a different audience, Sonny. That's a different audience. But in all seriousness, like speed dating, that's actually really interesting. So you know, you get 90 seconds to talk to the person in front of you. Usually like 90 seconds. Just have a quick conversation with 5 different people, and then once the 90 seconds is over, you switch, and at the end of it, you say who you liked, they say who they liked, and if you both said you liked each other, you get your contact info. But it's like Tinder, but in real life, so you actually have an idea as to how they talk, how they present themselves, everything else, and it's much more natural. So, I mean, if you were to do something like that, find some sort of speed dating event in your area. Much better than like Tinder and OkCupid's trash. Blind date, a mutual friend introduced me to my now husband. I've never had success with that. Anytime somebody I know has said, hey, let me hook you up with this person that I know, it's been an absolute and utter disaster, horrible, nightmarish hell. No, I'm never, F that. I appreciate the charity of friends, but no. I want to say thanks for your videos on YouTube. I enjoy watching them. Thanks for your work. Thank you. Hi is yawning. Why does my laptop not show my new router? Because you didn't get a Linksys WRT54G. If you had a Linksys WRT54G, it would just work. What laptop would you recommend for a student? A used ThinkPad T-Series from 5 years ago. They're not, those are not girls that are thirsty, Jessica, whatever. That is one person in this chat that is trolling with these messages, and I know exactly who it is. What is one of your top hobbies many don't know you're partaking? I don't know. I like hi-fis. Hi-fi stereos. No, it's not Erica trolling me. It's a different ex-girlfriend that's trolling me in this chat. And she knows who she is. She's right there. Like, right there. You mentioned you have to lose weight. What is your diet like? Very low carb. Eggs in the morning. Caesar salad or chicken salad for lunch. Same thing for dinner. Oh my god, I so agree. I got to the ARG twice. That's why I wouldn't do it again. I hated it. Yeah, F Tinder. Let's see. That is a dumb comment. Bye-bye. Let's see. By the way, people don't get married with girlfriends, boyfriends, and are dating. I think a lot of people that get married to people that they were a girlfriend or a boyfriend to. That doesn't make any sense. Have you tried Christian Mingle? I have not. I am not Christian. I had a 2-year serious relationship from OkCupid. Recently talking to an OkCupid guy. He's a great, thoughtful, monogamous guy, but my illness messed up our first date. Haven't been able to socialize, let alone date. I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope that you get better. Lol, it's not me. Any opinion regarding Russia versus Ukraine situation? Yes, in the beginning. Have you ever been in a fight before? Have you ever been hunted before? Thoughts on Mark Zuckerberg not eating any meat unless he kills it himself? The idea of Mark Zuckerberg killing anything is hysterical to me. I have been in fights before, but I suck at them and I usually lose. And I've never been hunted. I did have somebody try to scrape me with a glass bottle that they took from me a long time ago, and instead of trying to block it or do anything else, I literally just wound up doing this and just getting smashed with it. But it's weird because I didn't notice it happened until I didn't even notice I was bleeding. After that happened, I went to push, punch again, hit, trip him, and then the person that was next to him that was going to do something didn't do something, and then I start walking away. I'm looking behind me just to make sure that the other 2 people that he's with don't do anything, and then I realize I'm kind of tired. I'm like, oh man, why do I feel tired? And it was raining. And then I look at my arm and it's like, oh, that is a lot of blood. And so I walk into the Duane Reade pharmacy and I say, excuse me, do you have any, just some peroxide and a Band-Aid? I just need some Band-Aids. And the woman just looks at my arm like, what the? And she's like, come back here. I'll help you in the pharmacy. And then I gave her my card. She's like, just don't worry about it. But I'm never going to forget that. That was 11 or 12 years ago. I'm not much of a fighter. I took a martial arts class for 1.5 years, but oh my god, I suck. I have no hand-eye coordination whatsoever. It's bad. It's really bad. Would you date someone if they worked for the IRS? No. No, I couldn't do that. No. No, I'm sorry. Fishing is hunting in the water. I don't fish. Or hunt, honestly. But you are correct. Fishing is hunting in the water. What do you think about everything becoming a service? I think it is part of why we are going to live in a world where we don't own things anymore. And it's kind of sad. Etka, I can't answer the same question 1.7 million times, unfortunately. Are you going out soon for your evening meal? Actually, I have half a burrito left here that I should eat. I'm going to get that burrito in a moment. So where should women in New York City look for men? What do you recommend? I'd honestly do the speed dating thing, Jamie. Like, look up if they're doing that again. Is the city still in full COVID mode, or are people like back to their lives? If people are back to their lives, do speed dating. Not Tinder. But again, you're asking the wrong person. You're definitely, if you're asking, where do I find a date? My God, you are asking the wrong person. I have no clue. Is avoiding children in marriage an appropriate reaction to unstable ecology? I think it's the exact opposite. I think probably people having, I don't know. I forget where I read this. Isn't it when there's a higher likelihood of conflict or being killed that people tend to have more kids? But I don't know. I forget where I read that. Can't keep answering the same question, Perry. It's annoying as hell. Shows up to a clinic, bloody, leaves, refuses to elaborate. I offered to pay. I provided a credit card. Also, that wasn't a clinic. That was a Dwayne Reed. I really don't have hand-eye coordination. Like, look at my soldering. Everything goes on crooked. And this is something that I had to argue about with a certain ex-girlfriend that wanted me to hang something on the wall to be perfectly even. I said, I have not lied to you at all. I have over 600 videos of me soldering every single chip onto these boards crooked. You knew exactly what you were getting when you decided to date me. So you're going to accept the fact that I'm going to hang that mirror on the wall nice and crooked. But anyway, that's a long story. If typing was a martial art, you'd be winning. Oh yeah, I type very fast. I can only type with 2 fingers. Can't keep answering the same question, Hank. It's annoying as hell. What do you think there is a declining work ethic in young adults compared to 20, 40 years ago? I wasn't around 40 years ago, so honestly, all I have to go on is people's mythology of what work ethic used to be like. I wasn't there, so I don't know. How does the weight of the world not crush your spirit? The weight of the world is not on my shoulders. What crushes my spirit is not the weight of the world, it's the weight of the repeated, stupid, crappy life decisions I've made over and over and over again. Bad business decisions and bad life decisions. It's very difficult for me to forgive myself for all the stupid things that I've done. So I do have a lot of that, but I don't have the weight of the world. Just the weight of my own stupidity. But the weight of my own stupidity is quite heavy. Where's Sonny? I saw Sonny in here. You can do speed dating in New York City still. Bam, do that. Jamie, there you go. Do you have a handful of employees, or is it primarily you doing most things? There's a handful of employees. There's about 11 or 12 people right now. 12 people right now. We have seen you soldering, you lie. Dude, you have not seen me soldering. I use surface tension to cheat and make things be with a lot of flux. A lot of flux and surface tension to make everything look like it's going into place. But I solder that crap on. Crooked as hell in the beginning. Very crooked. What's your opinion on ripping media, Blu-rays, etc.? I do this for higher quality experience because I hate how subscription media can just disappear from a service. I'm for it. One of the things I really don't like about the Netflixication and Amazon Prime nature of video delivery is the bitrate is garbage. I don't want 3 or 6 megabit per second video. I want 50 to 150 megabit per second video. But even if you're willing to pay, since so few people are willing to pay, you're not going to get that. I had to reach out just in case these girls are real and not trolls. I'm half Asian, half white, 30 years old, and I honestly just have a crush on tech bros who work out a lot, so to the person trolling me, I know where you live. I know where the person trolling me. I know where the person trolling me in this chat right now lives. I'm just going to remind you of that. Women in New York can find the date at 121 West 47th Street. Okay, I'm going to Google this. You know what? I will raise you your troll. Antonio funded RS5. I hope you have a great week. Thank you. I raise you your troll. Okay, let's see. What is that? 121 West 47th Street is Rockefeller Center? What is that? It's across from Rockefeller Center? I don't know what that is. Anyway, that's... I hope you have a great week. Thank you. How often do you weight train? 3 times a week. And I do a full body workout for the 3 days. And the other 2 days, or the other 4 days actually, I do cardio. But I do cardio on the weight days as well. It's pretty much every man for himself now here. Few mask required situations now. Okay, speed date, Jamie. Speed dating. New York City has the highest women to guy ratio compared to any other major city. If you can't find a girl in New York City, you just have to go gay, says Sonny. Yeah, I suck at finding women in New York City. But again, like, you're talking about the female to male ratio, but are you? I don't think that takes into account how interested those women are in the men in that area and how dateable they are. But I don't know how you would even try to score or quantify that to put it on a chart for every area of the United States. I'm curious if somebody figures out how to solve that data problem. I'd be very interested in seeing that type of data. In the history of work ethic, it seems like most people used to be slaves and are proud of that for some reason. Sent you an email and called your shop. Saw your CT video. I can help here if you'd like to come. I don't want to give many details public. I will take a look. Did you email Lewis@rossmangroup.com, Lewis@fighttorepair.org, or something else? If it was something else, I didn't get it. If it was Lewis@fighttorepair.org or Lewis@rossmangroup.com, it's in an email inbox that I will have to dig through. And thank you. But yeah, that bill is already long dead. So like Maryland is unfortunately, Maryland is done for me. At least for this year. Like if I wanted to do something else in Maryland, it would have to be next year. But I can't imagine putting resources into that state because I would have to put a lot of resources in to get that reintroduced based on how it went. I want to put those resources into a state where there's less of a wild card. But I genuinely appreciate, I genuinely appreciate that. I love when people always want to one-up you. For instance, if you say you work 60 hours a week, they'll say, I do 70. I volunteer 12 hours. Working more than 40 is a lot of time. I think people have a natural desire to one-up the people around them. Have you ever been with a narcissist? Max was a total narcissist. Wonder if I'm the only one. I have not been with a narcissist that I know of. They're not women, the rowdy pope. It's one troll. It's literally one troll that just keeps donating $1. And I know exactly who that troll is. I also know that that troll doesn't even know my address. But I know theirs. Can you speak French? No. Can't keep answering the same question, Giovanni. Why do you wear gloves when fixing laptops? Because a lot of people's laptops are really disgusting. Would you repair a device if it gets sent to you from another country? Yeah, but that stuff sucks because it winds up getting lost on the way back or taking forever to go back or getting stuck in customs and then customers get mad. So I usually tell people to find somebody in their own country. Also, sending something to a store in New York where it's going to be really expensive to fix rather than having it repaired in your own country cheaply is it's not going to make you happy. It's the short year legislation in Connecticut. You're better off next year. Oh, you meant Connecticut. I thought you meant C.T. Wilson in Maryland. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Okay. When you said C.T., I thought C.T. stood for C.T. Wilson, the delegate in Connecticut that just said no to the right to repair bill because he doesn't like the video that I made on him last year, 2 years ago, whatever. I didn't know that you meant Connecticut. My bad. I'm sorry about that. Send me another one, and I will take a look at it, and I will get it over to the person who's heading everything up in Connecticut. My apologies. I misunderstood you. I thought you meant C.T. Wilson in Maryland. I didn't know that you meant Connecticut. Okay. I was dumb. You wouldn't believe how many men write still want kids and their age is on average 49. I just can't. LOL, says Jamie. That's interesting. I think when they say they still want kids, that's kind of like a way to sneak in. I want to date somebody half my age, but I don't want to type that on my profile. If you're 50 years old and you say I'm looking to have kids, what you're really saying is I want to date somebody maybe half my age or around half my age, but I think it's a more socially acceptable way to say it. Lewis, I too am a based alternative looker. Online dating in the Northeast is like Skiz Bipolar Disorder Simulator 2022. No offense to my Strong Island queens, though. Love y'all. Okay, that's fine. You're getting across partially what I was saying to Sonny, that the ratio of men to women is really just a very small part of the puzzle. What music do you listen to? If you want, check out my random live channel. When I drive, I have music playing, so you could kind of get an idea. Here, I'll post. I will find this. Here, where is this? There we go. Do you get jet lag on your journey? I didn't get jet lagged on my journey. I was woken up the moment I got here. You have a sleepy boy look. I don't know what that means. Are you streaming both on Twitch and YouTube? I am. Ever been to Michigan? I have never been to Michigan before. Let's see. I had almost read something horrible. Do you get jet lag on your journey? Oh, I answered that already. Okay, I am going to get myself the other half of my burrito. I've been trying to eat only anytime I order food. What I do is I order half now and half later so that I don't wind up gorging myself. And it's actually been a good habit. How often are motherboards swappable? I have HP i7 touchscreen. Can I put in an i5? I have no clue. I don't know the model of your computer. I don't know the rest. And even if I knew the model of your computer, I don't know what's compatible for every single HP. I work on MacBooks. So for instance, if you want to take an 820-2915 and replace it with an 820-3330, you can do that, get a better GPU, better CPU, more likely to last, but you do have to change the LCD connector or the LCD cable. With the case of the 820-2936 and the 820-3115, they are compatible. Again, LCD connector is going to have to be changed. Also, you may have to do a little bit of fiddling to get the with the heatsink positioning in order for that to fit. 820-2530, 820-2879, again, a little bit of fiddling with the heatsink positioning, but everything else is going to fit in just fine. Other random computers? I don't know. Weird question about being a big figure online. How do you handle security in your shop? Do a lot of people try to meet you? The way that we handle it is I have told Kevin that if anybody gets through here, if you tell somebody that I'm here, you're fired. Even if I'm literally standing next to you. If somebody walks in and says, hey, is Lewis here? You tell them no. If I'm standing there, you tell them that I'm an effing hologram. Because the thing is, there are a lot of cool people that I meet. But the problem is there's also some really, really sick freaks, and I have no way to tell which ones are the sick freaks and which ones are the cool people until I actually meet them. And when I meet the sick freaks, they don't let me be. They'll like literally just try and leave me. They won't leave. They'll just stand there and keep talking and talking and talking. And I can say, I have to go. I'm leaving now. And they'll just keep talking as if I'm literally still there. It's so really awkward and weird and just ugh. So what I do, in terms of security, I don't have hired security or anything like that, but there's literally just a rule. Like, if somebody walks in, tell them I'm not here. I literally could be standing over there. Because in the beginning, it was different. Like, when the channel only had 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers, it was really different. The people that showed up were normal. They were sane. They were not, oh my God, it's him! I hate that shit. That's so annoying. But like, they would just walk in and say, oh yeah, I saw what you were talking about with LG screen compatibility. That was really cool. Thank you for the tip. And I'll say, oh, it's good to meet you. What do you do? Do you work? You know, what kind of shop do you have? Like, I could actually have a shop conversation back when there was 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers. And sometimes somebody would show up on the weekend that watched some of my stuff, and I'd be working there by myself, and we'd have a 1 hour long conversation. But once the channel blew up, it really is just, it's just weird. It's just, it's so effing weird, and it's just not for me. What? Because I was cheating today, Akula Minori. I was cheating. You caught me. I am low carb most of the time, but I am not. I don't follow it perfectly. One moment. I'm actually going to get myself a burrito. I'm going to get myself the rest of my burrito. I haven't had a burrito in a really long time, so I treated myself to it. One moment. Okay. BRB. Don't post anything right now. If you post something, I won't see it. Mm. Hmm. Hmm. You scared my cat with your scream. Hello, Mutsa. Oh, he's right there. Yeah, he's busy. F off, says hi, hi. There's basically one thing you could do to get immediately fired. Yes. I'm not trolling you except the one I was teasing you about. My husband and I adore you. Really was joking. No, you're not the troll, Mary Rose. It's not you. It's not you. It's somebody else in here. It's not you, Mary Rose. I know it's not you. Because I know who it is. Big fan of everything you do for the repair community. I work on engines and things have gotten a lot easier to get over the past few years. That's a good thing. You speak Spanish. I do not. What's your secret to keeping motivated for your exercise routine? Ah, that is indeed a secret. However, as I posted in that video, the motivation, whatever it is, at some point it will be gone. So you have to come up with a routine so that when your motivation is gone, you still have your routine. For me, my motivation is, the motivation that I had, oh, that is gone. That is literally out the window. And so what I'm doing is I'm sticking to the routine that I had prior to when I actually had motivation. And that's working because I came up with a routine that worked while I had motivation, and now I just stick with it. Spouse and I are huge fans. Thanks for honest content. Do you think college today is a scam? Why have no alternatives arose to fight big tech censorship? I don't think that, because there's not as much of a demand for it as people think. But the main, Library and Odyssey exists. Nobody uses it, People complain a lot about censorship, but when they're offered platforms that don't have censorship, they don't go there. In terms of college, it really depends on what you're going for. If you're going to a community or a state college and it's affordable and you can get a degree cheaply for something real, then it's not a scam. If you're going to some university where you're paying $125,000 for like a degree in the humanities or something, ouch. Excuse me. The follow-up on the question about security in your shop, what if they're insistent saying Lewis must be here? Then F off. You're being a rapist at that point. I don't engage with rapists. If you have a rapist mentality and you walk in my store, we'll just tell you to leave. Like, seriously. If somebody says he's not here, that's it. It's a repair shop. This is, like, you have no entitlement to be here. Get the F out. Like, my staff chased a person through the street that was breaking cars with a stick and stole a stick from them. Like, this isn't Walmart. You're going to get effed up if you come in here and do that. This is not the store where you do shit like that, What do you think of this video? I can't click that on stream, Teresa, if I don't have enough trust for you. Womp, womp. Lewis serving us ASMR. Lots of ASMR. Why do you think some men treat women like trash? Ooh, that's a good one. Huh. There are times where I have lost interest in somebody because they treated me poorly. So, like for the last 2 interactions I had with them, I treated them poorly in return. And what was really weird is that I noticed that when I treated them poorly in return, they started actually being nice to me. I can't explain that. There are many people that attempt to explain this phenomenon, but I can't. I don't have enough knowledge to. Now, there's pretty much 2 places I could have gone when that happened to me. Behind door number 1, I could say, when I started treating this person worse, they treated me better. Maybe I should treat women like shit. Behind door number 2, I could decide, I'm just not reading that crap anymore. You're always wasting your money. Behind door number 2, what I could do is decide that I don't want to be with women that actually respond well to that. If you're a woman that's going to treat me poorly, but I have to treat you poorly for you to treat me well, then I just don't want anything to do with you. And that's one of the things when it comes to a lot of that like pickup artistry crap and all that stuff on game and all that, like I almost don't want the type of women that stuff works on. Does that make sense? Like because even if that works, now I know something about you for the fact that actually worked on you, and it makes me sick. That's one thing that I really appreciated about Erica is like she is not the type of woman that game works on. She just sees that stuff for like this junk that it is. It's like very straightforward, very open, very honest. Again, I wasn't compatible with her. Nothing against her as a human being, but like there was just none of that crap. Like none of it whatsoever. And getting reintroduced to like people where there are those types of shit tests back and forth, or I'm gonna mess with you, and then like I'm gonna say I don't want this, but then I'm gonna act like maybe I do if you ignore me. Like, oh Jesus Christ! Like no, I have no interest in any of that, no interest whatsoever. But I think that the reason that happens is because there are cases, and there are enough cases out there where somebody treated a woman poorly and they actually responded to it, whereas somebody that treated them more traditionally nice didn't. This is facts because you lose what motivate you, but you got a solid routine to make up for it. Yeah, again, I lost what motivated me, but but my routine is in place, and I stick with that routine every single day. Have you ever thought about traveling overseas? I have. Where would you visit? Ooh, I can't tell you, unfortunately, because I want you to not be there when I land, but I have. I have never daily driven an Apple device, Bald Eagle. Probably never will. I like you, Lewis, but we'll probably never meet as I'm halfway across the country with you. Any chance of having a tour guide of New York? I don't think I would make a good New York tour guide. I would just go, so that's empty real estate, that's a dump, that's a crap house, I don't think I would make a good tour guide. I wouldn't want to be with any girl who would date a guy like me. The mess that is the world in the last half decade, in your opinion, is it getting better or worse or the same, if you wish? I don't know. I think whether it gets better or worse depends on whether ideological possession becomes more extreme, where people side with people who only agree with them on like 40 different issues, and if you don't agree with me on these 40 issues, then you're evil and I don't want to be friends with you. I don't want to buy your products. I don't want to marry you. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to go to your gym and blah, blah, blah. That stuff really needs to stop. People need to start building bridges to people they disagree with and talking to people they disagree with more often. If that happens, it gets better. If that doesn't happen, things get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. When are you going to Australia to give Paul Daniels a piece of your mind about his buggy software? I think I'll leave that to you. This is exactly the tour that I want. Thank you, Jeffrey. Worst mistake you've ever made? Too many of them. How do you find time to exercise during a busy day? I'm 9 to 5, sometimes 9 to 6 or 7. I find it difficult to motivate myself to exercise afterwards. It just has to become a habit at that point. That's the thing. What I do is I tell myself the exercise and the results of the exercise is worth more than whatever else I'm going to do during that time. And that's a hard decision to make. That really is a hard decision to make. Attractive women get so many men hitting on them, so their skill is very high. Treating them like shit increases the challenge and puts them in a flow state. I don't know what that means. I don't know what flow state is. Been watching this channel for a few months daily. Keep up the great work. That is way too much money. What the? Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Huh. That's a week of burritos here. That's 2 burritos in New York City, but that's over a week of burritos here. Would you be willing to interview a homeless man for a job? So what would his position be? You know, I've done that a couple of times. I've not interviewed, but I've had a temporary person from the homeless shelter that was near my old basement office. And each time I did that, somebody stole from me. I gave them, you got $100 and a meal for 2 hours of work, and literally every single time. So I'm a little cynical and jaded there. I don't know about other people, but I've just... Get a gym that's on your commute home. Lewis told me that once. That also helps. I used to pay extra. Like I used to pay, even though I'm a cheapskate, I used to pay a lot of extra money to have a gym that was 2 blocks away from the store. The reason I did that is, if I don't go to the gym, I have no excuse. I'm just being a piece of crap. If I don't go to the gym and I have to cross town to get to it, and I had a long day and the trains are not running right, fine, excuse. If there's a gym 2 blocks from me and I don't go to it, there's no excuse. I'm just being a piece of crap. I'm just being lazy. So a gym that's very, very close in proximity is a good one if you have a long work day. Thank you for remembering that as well. I have a surprise mayo on a sandwich. I didn't expect to have mayo on it, and it ruined it for me. I have a personal grudge. Yeah, I would have a personal grudge there, too. I feel the same way when people sneak sour cream into things. Hello from Finland. I've been following your work for a few years now. I want to say a big thank you, and please continue your work with Right to Repair. I wish to see you talk at Nordic Business Forum someday. I've never heard of that, but I'll check it out. I've always wanted to visit that region of the world, and I've never made time to. Perhaps I will. Thank you. What's the routine if it works so well? Any routine is most routines are going to work well on you, Vali. The problem is that most people don't follow them. It's not about what workout routine you have, it's have a workout routine. Opinion on mayonnaise as a condiment. I'm not feeling it. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling it. I'm not a big mayonnaise person. Nah, not a big mayonnaise person. You say you care about your employees, your business is not worker-led. Curious. Yes, because it's not their business. Like, I'm sorry. I was there for the first several years before there were any employees. I put together most of the systems that are in place. I took all the risks. If somebody wants to walk in today and start immediately receiving a guaranteed salary based on a system that was already put into place when they weren't there, then they're not going to get all the proceeds of that. That doesn't mean I don't care about my employees. That simply means that I am not going to give away every single thing. So for instance, I care about my friends, but I don't literally write a check to my friends for all of my money simply because I care about them. I can date somebody and care about the person I'm dating. I don't give them all of my money simply because I care about them. That's a really unhealthy mindset, in my opinion. The idea that you don't care about someone if you don't just give them everything that you've created, everything that you've worked for, everything that you've put together, that's asinine. Anti-work commie. There's a reason that people don't start their own thing, because for a long period of time, you're going to make no money or close to no money, have high risk, and have an insanely high amount of investment with a high chance of failure. If you want to just start collecting money immediately, have a system where stuff already works and is sorted out, and just plug yourself into that system, do the work, collect your check at the end of the week, that is different from starting something from nothing. Kami. How are you doing this lovely Sunday? I'm doing very well this lovely Sunday. Just remember to take some warm clothes if you come in the winter. Even here in Helsinki, you can get them negative 20 or 30 Celsius in the winter. Negative 14 Fahrenheit in New Hampshire was really, really, really hard to deal with. I don't have it in me for that. It made me reconsider New Hampshire. You are too rough on yourself. No, I think I'm just about right. I think I'm just about right. You know how to play instruments? I do not know how to play any instruments. I'm a horrible musician. Do you have any book advice? I don't know. I like Jim Camp's Start With No. That's a good book. Jim Camp's Start With No. It's not just about salesmanship. You could apply that to just about everything in life. If you're not a fan of mayonnaise, I suggest avoiding the Netherlands or Belgium. Do they put mayonnaise on everything there? So many people talking about liver. You need to layer in the winter here. Warm clothes is good, but more clothes is better. The thing I don't like areas where you have to have gloves on or you feel like you're getting frostbite. Start With No has been a super valuable resource. I always wanted to interview Jim Camp, and he died a few years ago, which is really sad. How does that burrito compare with your old favorite place? Not even close. How much burrito cost where you are? I don't know because I forget the local currency conversion. But I remember it was cheap when I got it. But yeah, nothing is as good as Lucha Lucha. Nothing will ever be as good as Lucha Lucha was. And I realized that, which is why I told everybody there, if anything happens to this place, here's my number. Please call me because I will literally set you all up down the road with a better salary. Just so I could keep eating here. I love that you always have been yourself, even after you got 1.7 million subscribers. Many YouTubers change after they get that money. I hope I've changed. I mean, I started posting videos in 2012. It's 2022. I have less hair now than I did before. I really do hope that I've changed from the age of 23 to 33. I genuinely hope that I changed, but I think you meant this as a compliment, so I do appreciate it. Thank you. What's the circumference of your biceps? I don't know. I haven't measured that since... I haven't measured that since I was 16 years old in Model Sporting Goods. It was 12 inches back then. Did you leave New York City or is your business still there? My business is in New York City, and I am a nomad. I don't live anywhere. That don't care shit sounds like guilt tripping. You don't care about me, so get me more. It gives that kind of vibe. I agree. How do you find time to exercise? I prioritize it over other things that I was spending too much time prioritizing in past years. So a vast change in priorities. Shout out from Staten Island. Richmond Town and New Dorp. Will you come to Canada? Maybe. Wasn't expecting to see you on Twitch. I am here. Thank you. Would you ever eat magic mushrooms? No. How much better is New Hampshire than New York? It's not about better, it's different. And at this particular point in my life, I like what's there more than what was in New York City. Thank you, Sergey. I really appreciate that. How big is your streaming setup? Do you have a big bag with camera, laptop, lots of cable? No, dude, it's literally... I have my ThinkPad, and I tossed this piece of junk Sony AX53 on it, and I'm actually using... yeah, I'll show you. Check this out. So you want to see my tripod? You guys, because it's time for me to wash my hand anyway. One sec. I'm going to show you my tripod. Check it out. It's so cool. Look at this. All right, so the camera itself is sitting on top of a garbage pail. This is the garbage pail. See, here we go. And the garbage pail, one sec, is sitting on top of an ironing board. So this is an ironing board that folds out. And then on top of that, to make the camera go higher, is a trash can from the bathroom. And that is my my tripod. Here we have this. We have that. And that's my laptop over there. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. Rocking and rolling. Ah, I got it. Quality. Influencing. That's influencing. No worries, Dan Kobar. I'll do another one later. What is your opinion on smoking, drugs, and drinking? Do you prefer abstinence? I try to avoid it but I do have a penchant for drinking from time to time when there's a reason for it. There's often a good reason for it. Do you visit any hackerspaces? I would suggest that the organizers of Hope invite you to July at the event in New York City. You know, I was supposed to speak at Hope in 2020, but, you know, the world ended, unfortunately. But I did go to the Hope conference in 2016, and it was absolutely amazing. I met some lovely people that were very interesting, and I really enjoyed myself at the Hope conference. So I would love to stop by and check it out the next time they have one. I don't know if there would be a point to me being a speaker there, though. I don't really know what I would say. That would be special. This really does look like an Aquafina stream now. You should create an OnlyFans where you upload premium content of Fanspin holding true to the platform. It's kind of... I don't want to make an OnlyFans. I'm going to attract the wrong people. Thank you, Wa. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hishi They. Have you considered making rant videos in the woods? I have. But there's no woods here. Waiting from Sri Lanka. Thank you, Asathu. I do appliance repair and just started a company about 4 months ago. Any tips to give in regards to managing growth? Don't grow too fast. Grow with profits from your business. Don't grow with loans and debt. Grow with profits from your business. Your business should be profitable enough to be able to fund your expansion over time. Be very, very careful when you expand. Experiment first. See, like, how much profit does this actually make you? Figure out how much profit something is making you, and before you invest largely in it, try to gauge consumer demand for whatever it is you're growing into. Don't decide I'm going to buy $40,000 of equipment and then I'll figure out if I can actually make money from it. Don't believe your own BS. I keep a journal to try and keep me from believing my own BS and then acting on something that I've lied to myself about. And unfortunately, I still wind up lying to myself a good amount of the time. I don't think I lie to other people. I think I lie to myself and tell others the truth as I believe it. And it's really important to not do that when you're growing a business. You have to be honest about whether or not what you're doing is viable. And when you want to rage quit out of your stream, you can hit the trash can's pedal to send the camera into the wall. Genius. Master Engineering, Lewis. Thank you, Sergey. This is a more professional setup I could afford. Yeah, I get it. If you, I don't do like I really am not doing YouTube professionally. I don't like I have my 6-year-old laptop, a crappy used Sony camera, no lighting, and my camera is resting on top of a trash can, which is resting on top of an ironing board. Because hell, if I'm not traveling with a tripod. Like screw that. There's no way in hell I'm traveling with a tripod. No way. Hi is still here instead of doing his homework. Somebody should tell Hi to get out of here and do his homework. I have millions of viewers average, but it's just a small thing. Incorrect. I have 496 live viewers right now. That number is a lie. There are YouTubers that have 10% the subscriber number that I do that have way more viewership. That number, yeah, 415 concurrent viewers. So when I had 42,000 subscribers, I would get 600 live viewers when I did a live stream. 600 people viewing when I had 45,000 subscribers. Now I have 1.7 million, supposedly, and I have 415 live viewers. So that you can't trust that number. I don't trust that number personally. My medicine gives me the runs. I think I lost 5 to 8 pounds in one day. I have nothing to say to that. I don't comment on the digestive practices or properties. Anyone recognize you during your trip so far? Subscribers, etc. There was one person at airport security, which actually was helpful because I had something in my bag that was suspicious looking, and then I showed him the video to show him what that was and what it does. It was a bunch of magnets. Like I was just showing, like when I'm fixing a laptop, I'll use it to hold the screw. And I had about 30 or 50 magnets all together, and it was bent in a certain way where it looked like I had a sword or a dagger in my bag when you looked at it on the screen. And then the guy noticed that it was actually me, and then he recognized me. That was cool. So that may have actually helped me get through airport security. But now I learned my lesson and what I put in my bag. Just because YouTube claims I have millions of viewers doesn't mean I really do this professionally. Again, this is pretty much as janky as it was 10 years ago. Thank you for doing what you do. I learned a lot, and I love that you bring our attention to the crap companies do. Thank you. What headset is that? It's crystal clear. This is a DPA 4065. This is a DPA 4066, but it uses the same capsule as the DPA 4065. And they're very good sounding microphones, and because they get used mostly for Broadway theater, they are always breaking. So you always see them on eBay when a show ends and they sell them if they're not getting them from a rental company, and you're able to buy them on eBay, oftentimes with a broken plug. You can find these with a broken plug for as low as $50, and then you put your own plug on it, and now you have a working microphone that otherwise would have been $600 to $700. A YouTuber named Mental Outlaw recently made a guide for Linux and how to pass through your GPU to a virtual machine. Worth checking out. I don't know. I don't know. I don't actually work with virtual machines. Currently procrastinating going to work, not homework. Oh yeah, because Hi works on Sunday. I forgot. Time difference. Do you think you would start a YouTube channel now, or have times changed since you got in this? Probably. I don't know. It was just kind of a way to rant at the world. How did you move out of Staten Island? Everybody lives here, gets entrenched, and they never leave. Well, a big motivation for me was noticing that a lot of the people that live in Staten Island, one of the things I didn't like about it is, it's weird because the neighborhood that I moved to has vastly more crime than where I lived in Staten Island. But in Staten Island, you would just have this thing where somebody's walking down the block and there'd be 4 or 5 kids sitting on a stoop, and they would just laugh under their breath at the person walking down the block to try to get their attention and mess with them. That just doesn't happen in my part of Brooklyn. Like, people don't do that to each other. There's more crime, but the people are less crappy to each other, if there's any way that makes sense. And the other thing is, like, you just have people that live with their parents until they're 35, 45, 55 and just don't accomplish anything. And it's often the people the people who were doing that were the same people that were just sitting on the stoop laughing at people. So I wanted out. I always wanted out. And when I started this business, that was out. So I did a lot of different things to try to get out, worked in a lot of different recording studios, had different internships, had different tech jobs. But once I started doing this, the moment I was consistently making $100 to $200 a week, I was out. I found an apartment that was $400 a month at the absolute ass end of Brooklyn. That was $400 a month, filled with termites, horrible place, but it was all to myself, and I took it. And I was, it was $400 a month apartment. I made $100 a week, sometimes 2, so it just worked. And then I found another place that was 700, and another place that was 1100, and then the place that was, I think, 17, which is where I am now. Was now. Actually, I'm not there now. Now I'm in a random hotel in a random corner of the world. But that was, yeah, that was that. I just wanted to get out. And one thing I noticed is that when I got out, my income just went up and up and up. Like I was stuck at this level of $400 to $1,000 a month forever. And literally, the moment that I left Staten Island, it went 100 a week, 200 a week, 500 a week, 1,000 a week, 1,200 a week, and then it kind of went back down to 600 to 1,200, but it kind of ping-ponged around there a little bit, and then went back up again. Like once I was forced to live on my own, and I was paying my own rent, I was paying my own bills and everything somewhere else, it really did change my my mindset on things, and it just changed the way that I approach opportunities in a way that it's really hard to imagine. But if I had stayed home, I don't think I ever would have done any of this, because I think like naturally I'm not a hard worker naturally. I mean, if I grew, that's one of the things I wonder, because sometimes I wonder what would things be like if I grew up in a better environment and had a better life. But I truly believe this. If I grew up with happy parents that were always nice and a nice home and like I was taken care of financially, I probably wouldn't have done anything. I really do wonder, would I have actually sought out and have done anything? You gone totally out of sync. I can't fix that. This is using a laptop on the ass end of the world. Nothing I can do there. VUN rent. I don't know what VUN means. I saw my first human poo on the street here in the UK. I can't believe San Francisco exported this practice. The town is labor as well. What is with left-wing politics? Well, I think that what you're looking at with left versus right-wing politics, like, you don't have cities that are as populated as San Francisco that are Republican. You just don't. Like when people say, look at New York City. Okay, New York City has the space of Knoxville, Tennessee, and it has 8.5 million people in there. So are you talking about necessarily left-wing policies, or are you talking about insanely high-density urban areas naturally having these qualities? I am not in Australia, Teresa. I don't have a favorite cryptocurrency. It all seems like a consensual Ponzi scheme to me. Did find your inspiration from your video on Linus Tech Tips Piracy, especially the part about not holding on to resentment in confrontation that can be healthy. Sometimes you really do need to have those types of confrontations, and they are healthy. It's much better than holding in resentment. And one of the things that I'm trying to do with my life moving forward is I speak up the moment I feel that I'm taking part in something that is going to make me resentful. Immediately. I don't care if I may ruin something. I don't care if that may result in making somebody unhappy in the moment. It's going to make us all more happy in the long run than when I blow up on them at the end over something that they weren't even aware of, because I thought they should be aware of it, but they weren't. And I do think what that software developer did was very unhealthy. I'm not saying that Linus was right in everything he said. I'm not saying Linus is right in everything he did. I'm just saying that the way that software developer handled that situation emotionally was massively unhealthy, regardless of whether he was in the right regarding the status of his license, his software, payment, any of that. I personally believe that was just a very mentally unhealthy way for him to handle that situation. You know, you're waiting over 6 to 9 months and, you know, building up this situation in your head and making it bigger and bigger and bigger rather than just having a conversation in the moment. The thing is, I know what that's like, because that was me as a teenager. But that wasn't me in my mid and late 20s. Definitely not me in my 30s. I ain't doing that ever again. Von means leave in Slovenian. I am not in Canada. There are other ass ends of the world other than Australia, Teresa. Is income the measure of a man? Not the only one, but it's one of them. But it's not the only one. There's nuclear families of 6 or 7. It's never guaranteed that offspring is going to turn out as expected. What? True. Also, I'd say there are more NFT projects that are a scam than those that aren't. I wouldn't be surprised. How does it feel to be a celebrity? I'm not a celebrity. This is YouTube. I'm a D-list celebrity. This is D-list, if even. Maybe F-list. can't answer the same question 1.7 million times. I am perplexed. I do not have nice biceps, Canal. That is lighting, and that is deceptive lighting and bad camera angles. Thank you, Carrie. Hope you're having a good day, Carrie. Good to see you here. I live in Florida. I consider it the ass end of the USA. I mean, that's one way to see it. Regarding the software developer, I might react the same way in a bad day, even after months not caring about the stuff. I don't know. I can't do that. I can't, like... He built something up in his head that was crazy. I can't do that. I can't imagine doing that as an adult. I can definitely imagine doing that as a teenager before I really had the tools or the emotional framework to understand how to deal with those things. More important while traveling, great food or great internet? Great food. I care more about my health than I do about loading YouTube comments faster. What is one of the most surprising corrupt practices you have encountered within New York City business and the government? Personally, has just been any time I've dealt with the Department of Consumer Affairs. Fabulous Feline is thirsty. Would you ever do a YouTube video with Trish Pastas? Technically, isn't she your college? You could... What? Are you drunk? Okay, firstly, who is Trish Pastas? And what do you mean, my college? What is this? Oh, Trisha K. Paytas is an American YouTuber and singer. Paytas' primary YouTube channel consists of a wide array of lifestyle-oriented vlogs, music videos, and mukbangs. I don't see the point of this. I don't see the point of that. Oh, colleague. Have you ever considered repairing devices from other brands other than Apple? Yes, we do data recovery and other hard drives, but we don't. But for this, the Amazon primification of the world means that people expect things to be done very quickly. The only way I can do that is stocking all the parts. The only way I can stock all the parts is if I specialize. So that's what I do. Are you excited for new ThinkPads? Honestly, no. This thing still works. I'm going to be using this for a really long time. Why did you decide to work for yourself and build a business in the repair industry? Because I couldn't get a job. If I could get a job anywhere else, I wouldn't have been doing this crap. Because again, that's what a lot of people don't understand. There's a lot of risk involved in starting a business. You have no idea what your salary is going to be. You have no idea if it's going to be successful. Nobody wants to do that. The reason I did that is because I had no... Like, I tried for years to do something, and I could never make any money. So I couldn't get a job, so I tried making one. You know, so I made one. And that was that. And now we are where we are. Nothing yet, Cole J. Mantras. When dealing with New York State, there's really... Yeah. Hi, you're still here. I had to show up for an appraisal. Now I'm standing here in the rain deciding if I should go joke between appointments. You're supposed to be speed dating, Jamie. We don't always agree on everything, but you're real and the world needs more people like you. Thank you, Stuart Yates. I appreciate that. Thank you. For mental health, I finally made 1,100% to 1,200% profit, potential 3,000 capital, which is enough to invest. It's worth over 800,000 for potential profit at this rate. I don't know what that means. Is that the P50 ThinkPad that the spill test was done on? Yep, same computer. Same missing control key on the side. Does live streams help or hurt your channel? I've heard mixed answers from YouTube. It's not really whether about live streams help or hurt your channel. At random intervals, YouTube will spam my content, even old content, into everybody's feed and just spam it in people's recommended, and then the channel will do this, and then it'll do the opposite, where people who are subscribed to me don't even see my stuff, and then my channel does this. So I don't care about trying to please some senseless algorithm anymore because it just messes with you and it just does whatever it does, and I'm not trying to control that. If I tried to do that, I'd lose my mind. So I honestly don't know. But right now, I'm on the downswing. Every now and like you'll see it. There's upswings and there's downswings, and this is a downswing. Trisha is toxic. I'm glad I unsubbed. Why do you say that? I don't even know who this person is, but The problem with society is that we have a race to the bottom. Everyone wants to be a victim now to get free handouts. We need to punish this. We need to stop mass. Oh, Jesus. Silly comment. Where are most of your viewers from? I have no clue. My cat ate the letter A off my old backup Toshiba. Why didn't he choose Z? Here, something useful like a function key. Or a tilde. Or the, like, I don't know. The delete key on your numpad. My algorithm ignores you entirely. I always have to search to get my weekly dose of ramblings. It is what it is. Thank you, Stuart. That's it. It's not really hard to guess where I am. You have enough hints already. You should be able to tell exactly where. If you were paying attention, that is. I don't think any of you have been paying attention. You pay as much attention to this as you do to the damn border pair videos I do. And that says a lot. You people that don't even know that PP3V42 is the first power rail necessary for the one-wire circuit to work 8 years after I started doing border pair videos. Of course you don't know where this is. What's your business email to ask something? Lewis@rossmanngroup.com. It comes with the IQ test of you need to be able to spell my name right in order to email me. It rules out all the people that spell my name Luis or Rossmann or Lewis with an E. Hello from Croatia. Hello, Bauer Knife. Hey. I'm yawning. If you recover data off a hard drive, is it private still if you recover it? Tax records, photos, etc. Yes. Usually we have to open a file just to be sure that the data that we recovered is actually data and not garbage before we call the customer to tell the customer it's for a remote session. So we'll have a remote session with the customer where the customer can actually log in, check their data, and see, oh, this is actually what I wanted versus, oh, no, you didn't actually get my stuff. The thing is, you may be making several attempts to get data off of a damaged device. And while you're making those attempts to get data, you don't want to call the customer like 30 times to ask if this it, is this it. So you just find a file, you open it, and like just see what shows up on screen. Like is that person who's doing that, I don't think that they're looking because they give a shit about your tax records or your selfies or whatever. They just want to see, oh, it's a JPEG, it opened, okay. Now, or oh, this document, it opened in Word, okay. Now we can actually call the customer, tell them to check their data, and go ahead with it. And for that, you really do have to, it doesn't matter what the privacy company of a policy is, you need to actually trust the people at that company, trust the management, trust the employees, if you're going to be having your data recovered by them, because at the end of the day, there's like, they have your stuff, you know. Thank you, Trip621, I appreciate that. What OS is the ThinkPad running? This is running Ubuntu Linux. Looking at your guns made me realize I'm late for the gym, so yeah, bye, have a good one. Why is everybody commenting on this now? I'm not in shape, stop this. Plan on doing more of the bike tour rants again. I plan on getting in shape. I'm far from it, but I'm going to get there. I pay as much attention as I do money. Okay, that's funny. I'm very far away from bike tour rants. Too many yawns. Lewis, you should go to Croatia and see the Pluvs waterfalls. It's the most beautiful national park in all Slavic countries. Maybe. Do you think it's worth it to go into a field you're not naturally good at but are passionate about doing? Basically, if you think the drive or passion is more important than intelligence, natural ability. I think a lot of the concept of passion is bullshit that people use to indoctrinate people into chasing things that they shouldn't be doing for work. I think you become passionate at something when you are good at it. I'm not passionate about border repair. Like, I wanted to be a recording engineer. That's what I wanted to do with my life, be a recording engineer. But I would always get pigeonholed into fixing things at the studio that didn't work. And because I just so happened to be good at that. And then I got an internship at Avatar Studios, which was a different studio. Then I wanted to be a recording engineer there, or at least an assistant engineer, because you would become a production assistant, then an assistant engineer over the years. And I started working in the tech room. Why the tech room? Because I got along with them, because I was good at fixing things, because I was naturally drawn to that. That's not what I was passionate about. I'm not passionate about solder. I'm not passionate about fixing stuff. I'll be honest with you. It wasn't my passion. I remember telling my parents when I was younger, I'd rather kill myself than fix computers for a living. When I was an edgy teenager, that's what I would answer. That's how I would answer that question when people would suggest it. The reason that I'm passionate about it is because I'm good at it. So once I see that I can help people, once I see that I can make money and that money allows me to live a better lifestyle than I did before, I'm passionate about it. Once I see somebody that is willing to give me a hug and they are crying while they're giving me a hug because I got back data that the Apple Store said they couldn't get back at all, and we got it back for $400, I'm pretty passionate about it, even if I hate reballing SMCs. I may not like reballing chipsets. I may not like running jumper wires through holes and all this other stuff, but it's not about that. I'm not passionate about running jumper wires. I'm not passionate about reballing SMCs. I'm passionate about seeing the customer smile when the fan spins, collecting money when I do that, and pissing Apple off. You become passionate at something when you're good at it. So this whole idea of doing something that you're not really that good at because you're passionate about it, in my opinion, and this is going to be really unpopular, and everybody's going to say you're just some manager that doesn't understand people or whatever. That's a hobby. A hobby and a job is different. If you want a job that you're passionate about, get a job that you're good at. Get a job that you're so good at that it actually positively affects people's lives enough that you can see the smiles on their faces when you do your job properly. If you get a job that you are amazing at, you will become passionate at it because people get these nice little dopamine hits when they win. And winning at something feels really, really good, even if it's not something that you think you're passionate about. Again, I'm not passionate about this. I mean, I'm sorry if that disappoints people that watch this channel. I am not passionate about running jumpers. I am not passionate about reballing chips. I'm not passionate about scouring AliExpress and eBay and other garbage websites to try and find chipsets that are not made from Golden Chipset and CIC, that are not being sold by them so that I can get a chip that actually works. I'm not excited to buy GPUs for a 2011 MacBook Pro that are what's the word I'm looking for? Where they literally scrape off the old expiration date and put a new one on. I mean, not expiration date, or production date, so that they can claim it's a newer chip than it actually is, and not a chip that they just ripped off of some other dead motherboard and then try to spend 3 hours putting it on a machine for it to not work. I'm not passionate about that stuff. I'm passionate about the outcome. So when it comes to passion, what are you good at? And can you turn what you're good at into a job? Because when you're good at something, when you're really, really good at something in the zone every single day, it feels amazing. You mentioned Tronics Fix in your video before. Is this something you would be prepared to do yourself? Mention somebody in my video? I mean, I already did that, so you have your answer. You're in better shape than a lot of people. Yeah, but I'm in worse shape than a lot of people too. No. You have a glow about you. I think that's what they're seeing. That's probably just sunscreen. That's sunscreen. And the arm looking swole is really just lighting and camera angles. You can destroy your passion working in that field. I befriend a lot of frustrated car mechanics. It's a risky move. Maybe. How are your cats doing? My cat is doing very well. Hi is taking care of the kitty right now. Everybody ping Hi in chat. Hi is cat sitter. You're passionate about jizzing a tube of flux on the board. Kind of. I do enjoy some authentic Amtech flux. I've never tried the Rode HS2 microphone. I'm sorry, George. Lol for the const... DPA 4065 and 4066, Angus. I prefer the 4065 for how it fits in the head. It doesn't move around the same way that this one does. Okay. It's about time for me to get out of here. This is 2 hours and 40 minutes. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Time for me to get out of here. Thoughts on Monday's mandate repeal? It's a step in the right direction, in my opinion. It's a step in the right direction. Yeah, we just have to wait for a new variant to come out to see what happens next. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now. Thank you so much for joining my stream.